All right. Welcome back. Eon off the desk. Ozzy Dahaki is back here to be our Terran expert for this matchup. We have another big clash between Dewalt and Mihu. And welcome back, Ozzy. But our players are already ready and the game is starting. So we're going to jump in right into this game number one here. Dewalt versus Mihu. All right.
They don't even want to wait for us, man. Spawning here on the 3 o'clock position, we have our Terran player Mihu. And his opponent will be in the bottom left. That's going to be Dewalt as the Protoss player. But yeah, Raz, these guys are so eager to get it going. They don't even want to wait for us, man.
They're just like, let's get into it.
Chomping at
I don't
the
know.
bit.
I think player to player, like if you're DeWalt, did you want a break or did you just want to continue on? Like did you want a small window in between or you didn't,
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, like you're saying, it does vary person to person, right? For me personally, once I'm going, I don't want to stop because anytime I get to stop and start thinking about stuff, I actually get in my own head, or like I kind of like the nerves start coming back. You know what I mean? So if
Yeah.
I'm in DeWalt shoes, I'm happy just to keep going after a loss. Just keep grinding it out. But I do know DeWalt does seem to tilt a little bit, so I don't know if he personally would prefer that downtime or not.
Yeah, I think after a frustrating series where getting scouted first, everything's not going your way, it may be good to take a little break, but like you said, you might say, you know what? I don't want to think about it. Let's steamroll into it. I think worst case scenario, something ridiculous happens early in the next series, and you're super angry, and you continue your tilt. So hopefully that doesn't happen to DeWalt here.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting too that we're starting off here on Dominator. This is a map that it's one of those maps where I personally don't like as a Terran player, but I think it is objectively good for Terran if you play it correctly, right? Like, anytime you're navigating a 3-player map well, it's typically Terran favored because Protoss can't really take a main base very easily on this, and that's kind of one of the advantages they have on those 4-player maps. And they also don't have a 2-player map advantage of being able to harass you in the early game and stuff, so the only thing about this map that is hard to deal with, I feel like, as Terran, is that big open space that Mihu's going to have on the top side of his base.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right, like big main bases for Arbiter play, but I feel like Terran pushes and Terran locations that are set up are harder to break because of all the pizza slices. So I feel like as the game goes on, like it is harder to navigate your army as Protoss and bust Terran.
Yeah.
Shuttle style, very annoying here. Obviously, a lot of area to fly over all the bases. So I think that might be what we see from DeWalt. Looks like he's going for a 21 Nexus here, skipping range.
Yeah.
It's interesting. 20 Ozzy. Usually it's like 19 or
19
21.
or 21, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit in between. It is kind of interesting.
Yeah. That was a little bit. And Mihu, pretty standard here, right? Looks like he's just going to go no bunker expand since he saw that it's Nexus for before range. Nothing too crazy from either of these players.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you scout this too, you see this rangeless expand, you can kind of skip the bunker completely. You can go for that vulture into the tank and just go. Sometimes you go for Marine if you're worried about that second gun coming straight across the map. So you can kind of keep an eye on that, but you can skip the bunker this way a lot of times in this.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the most optimal thing at this point. Mihu knows that. Plus, he can set up the high ground, right? So if the Dragoon does come up, he has 3 Marines and Vulture to knock it back. DeWalt, I'm assuming here, just going to go for that standard 410 Robo with an Observer and just kind of play out from there. SCP bugs out.
And you did allude to shuttle style specifically, which I think is one of the bigger issues on this map. And DeWalt definitely is a big fan of that shuttle style. So I imagine if we get to that stage of the game, he will be wanting to try to abuse that. And I say if we get to that stage of the game because Mihu is notorious for his nonstop aggression and pushes. So we'll see if he lets DeWalt get there. But yeah, Mihu likes to pull the trigger over and over and over again.
Yeah, I noticed that he landed the racks. I thought we were going to see more Marine production for some sort of push. We did not, but I was surprised we didn't add on a couple Marines, get a couple tanks, and make it happen.
Yeah. He is going for 3 Vulture here before tank, so wonder if he's planning on some sort of aggression. This is purely for map control, I think, but we did see in one of his games he did rush for that Vulture speed into drop, but we don't have that starport or anything, so this is going to be purely just for map control, getting mines everywhere, for spotting vision, making sure that we see kind of when he wants to take his 3rd base, but everything looking pretty standard so far for these 2 players.
Yeah, I think a Dewalt added the 3rd gate, so he's going 3-gate observer, it seems like. So pretty safe build order, right? Like any early pushes are pretty much swatted away with that build. So he's just playing safe, knows that Mihu's aggressive.
Yeah, against a player like Mihu, I feel like I'd be playing 3-gate Robo almost every single game, right? Because he loves these 3 tank pushes, 5 tank pushes. You do some damage to him, he pushes you. You don't do damage to him, he pushes you, so... Yeah, I think 3-gate Robo is a pretty good choice against his opponent here.
Yeah, we see already, looks like 3 factories already up for Mihu. So 3 factory, probably going to try to take a 3rd with some light aggression in the middle there. As we expect with Mihu. He has phenomenal map vision, though, already, Ozzy.
Yeah, you're so comfortable in this situation, right? Like, nothing's leaving Dewalt space that you're not going to know about. We got spotters for the shuttles as well. We got spotters for every single potential goon movement. The first observer went straight across the map, as it usually does, so second observer will probably be used to clear the, I imagine, the 9 o'clock base to take our 3rd for Dewalt. But he's going to get in with the observer, get full vision, and... yeah, just kind of sees that it's a little bit of an early 3rd factory, but there's no additional factories behind that.
I don't
and
think
I say
it was
early because...
it was eBay. I messed up, Ozzy. It was
okay.
eBay next to those factories, so it's still 2. Oh, look at this. Sneaking in these 2 vultures, man. Can he get that probe to delay this Nexus? It's a big deal. He does get it, and he's about to get out.
That's a little drive-by kill on that probe there. We're getting to the point where this 3rd's actually a lot later than you want as to You see he's floating 700 minerals, right? He really does... Oh my god,
goodness, he got another one.
That vulture just did a full circle, killed 2 probes, and is still gonna get out.
Right. He might make another lap around, you know? It's crazy. If I'm Dewalt, though, I'm a little annoyed that he made, like, no turrets, right? Like, Mihu's build is very optimized. There's very limited turrets. Like, you know, he was able to not get siege for a while. Like, he's definitely not missed SCVs. He's definitely pumping out.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic opener for Mihu so far. And yeah, when you delay the 3rd that long, it actually kind of makes you want to push sometimes too. Like, I know I say this about Mihu, but I just can't help but think this is how he thinks about the game. But when you deny the 3rd for that long, it does mean that their macro, like 2 minutes from now, is going to be a lot less than it typically would be at that stage. So it does kind of reward aggressive play a little bit. We do have that 5-fact coming down at a pretty good timing for Mihu. So we're going to see if he wants to transition this into a push or just take a 3rd off behind it. But I think our armory was actually pretty late. So this, to me, leans more towards aggression.
We have a lot of tanks there, Ozzy. It looks like he wants to get on the move, right? Like, he had non-stop production. We've already got, what, 8, 9 siege tanks already another round. We're going to have 11, you know. I mean, that's enough definitely to push, especially if he scans and sees Dewalt has only been on 3 gateways still. Yeah.
Yeah, I said our armory was a little late. It finishes after our 5th factory, so that's very late. So that is definitely because we were wanting to get as many units out as possible for a potential push here. And even getting a couple more probes, going to get a 3rd probe even with this last vulture here. So a little bit of damage. And yeah, we're just now mining our 3rd at 9 minutes as Dewalt. So this is kind of scary because his economy is not where he'd want it to be at this stage. And his unit count, you see it in the supply. When you're even with Terran, it makes the push very, very scary.
And he's floating this eBay forward here to take damage to get it set up. Ozzy, you love that. Like, really, that'll mess up the Dragoons. They want to start firing at the closest thing. It's an eBay. Oh my goodness, some Dragoons getting caught here. Ozzy, not good. Dewalt going around the other way. I don't know if he's looking to counter
or
try to squeeze this army, but that is a lot of Terran in a very forward position right away.
Yeah, Mihu got into this position so fast.
Oh my goodness, mines hit. He does have leg speed. He does have a good amount of gateways, but I don't know if he can bust through here, especially without these Dragoons from the other side. Oh no, 2 more vultures sneaking by. Here we go. Dewalt going in the front here. The Zealots attacking units in the front, not getting on the siege tanks. I don't think he can stop it here, Ozzy.
I don't think so either. These Zealots got shut down. Even went for this desperation DT, but there's already turrets out here. The scanners should be done. We saw the academy earlier. Maybe he forgot to make them on time. There's the scan coming down. Did get a couple tanks at least, but yeah, a little bit missed time with the goons on the flank, but there just wasn't enough Protoss to begin with. Mihu got to this position so fast when he started this push. It was like less than 30 seconds from his base to setting up at Dewalt's front.
Yeah, here he goes. He is coming in from both sides, though. Oh, we did have a good storm there. Oh, GG from Dewalt, not going to try to bust.
Yeah, GG.
Wow.
Just a strong, well-executed 5-fact push. I mean, like I said, we delayed that armory. We denied the third for so long, right? And we killed a few extra probes, and that's kind of what I was saying. It's like, you want that third coming down at like 6:30, 7 minutes at the absolute latest off of a 3-gate. And it was, what, almost 8 minutes or later before he finally got the Nexus down. We were mining it at like 9:30, so that makes the 5-fact so much harder to stop than it would normally be.
Yeah, and like you said, Mihu doesn't need much to help him pull the trigger to attack. Delaying a third, knowing that the economy's not strong enough to hold, he just moves across and goes, man. That's unbelievable. I mean, Dewalt, while he was clearing the mines that were out there, really needed his Dragoons to stall that army for a little bit because Mihu just gave him no time to get up his Zealot count.
Yeah, and that was another big part of it, right? Was, as I was saying, too, how fast Mihu got across the map. Like, Dewalt did not deny it pretty much at all. I think there was one siege between his base and Dewalt's natural, so yeah, it didn't quite. I don't think he really saw it coming, right? It seemed like he was completely unprepared. His goons were like in a straight line there instead of being like up on the pizza slices, forcing sieges, delaying them, and stuff like that. So I don't think he realized like how hard Mihu was coming at him.
Yeah, now, well, that was Mihu's pick. He got that, went on his pick. We go to Dewalt, which is Polestar. Another, to me, Ozzy, very balanced map, right? I think Terran able to get a third base here. They can sit up well, so it'll be interesting. Once again, though, I think shuttle style that Dewalt's kind of leans towards is good on this map as well.
Yeah, I agree. All right, looks like we are hopping into the game here, so we're going into game 2 of Dewalt versus Mihu on Polestar. All right, spawning here in the top left, we have our Terran player Mihu. And in the bottom left, we're going to have our Protoss player Dewalt. So horizontal spawns. I actually think... And actually, I don't know. I think shuttle style, it's a little bit harder in these spawns, right? Because if you're typically going to be bombing like the third or something if you're not going to the main, or you have to come from the right side. So he does have to go on like a little bit of a round trip, kind of, if he wants to get shuttles into Mihu's main.
Yeah, I think still effective to go over the natural, a lot of area to fly, but you're right, you do have to take a longer path. So we'll see if Dewalt wants to stick with that style, or if he's going to play some arbiter defensive style where you kind of take the high grounds in the middle and then battle through and just take the map. This map usually makes big macro games, right? Unless Dewalt goes for something like a 12 Nexus, usually we see bigger fights, bigger games, because there are more bases, there is more space, so we'll see. I think Dewalt will kind of be, and he's going standard here with the gateways, so expecting a longer game.
Yeah, as long as Dewalt, kind of handles the early game a little bit better, deflects these pushes from Mihu. I would like to see Dewalt be able to get into that mid game in a much better position, but a bit of a forward barracks here from Mihu. We might be getting, yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting a oh no, there's the gas. Okay, I was thinking we might get a little bit of a 15cc with that forward barracks, but yeah, just gonna be a normal 12 gas. So
yeah, very popular right now, the 15cc's. I don't know if Dewalt's really a player like Bonyth that sends out an early Zealot more often than not, so I don't know if that's a read by Mihu. I'm sure these two have been playing a lot of games together, so
yeah,
the history weighs in.
Yeah, and I do think those early CC builds do kind of... I can see players like me who've seen it do it a few times now. They kind of like those kind of builds, people that like to be aggressive, because it does actually lend into early pushes pretty well as well. Like you do that 15cc into like the quick 2-fact, like 5 tank pushes, things like that you see quite often.
Yeah.
Because it comes surprisingly fast off of a 15cc.
Yeah, and it's very those 5 tank pushes are so strong.
Mm-hmm.
But very standard here from both players. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, do you think we'll see another early Nexus? Or looks like we're probably going to be 23 Nexus this game.
Yeah, it looks more like 23 Nexus. Not really getting in and seeing much. I just he's going to have to assume that.
No, we just
it's only
canceled
one
again.
fact. Wow.
So I was
So
wrong.
I guess him seeing, yeah, we have a 17 Nexus. I guess him seeing the 1 Marine and at this timing kind of triggers him to go. I mean, Terran can continue Marine and Vulture production and pull the SCVs and get a kill here. I don't know if Mihu will do that, but that is an option that's on the table.
You know what I think this is from Dewalt? I don't know if you saw the series against Zhanhun that Mihu had, but he loved skipping Marines for these faster CCs, and I think Dewalt is kind of metagaming that or reading that a little bit and going for these earlier and earlier Nexuses, because we saw multiple times when he played against Zhanhun, he was doing 1 Marine into Nexus. Into CC, sorry, quite often.
Yeah, so maybe DeWalt is using that information to kind of say, all right, I'm just going to get even faster Nexus, don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense, right? You got to kind of read and play into how your opponent is playing and see what you can get away with.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to get that 2 Marine into bunker build here from Mihu. Dewalt going to poke forward, just make sure the CC's building, check the timing on that, so he knows there's no like crazy 2-fact or FD or anything like that coming. So things looking pretty nice and normal so far.
Yeah, nothing too wild from either player. Let's see if he can deny that third base as long as he did the last game.
Looks like this Vulture is sharking around on the outside. But 2 guns back at home, gonna get a little bit of damage on that and chase it off.
Yeah, it might be good to send 1 towards the third just to block it as well. You know, keep 2 Dragoons at home, send 1 out there, clear stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, usually
they're on time.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was gonna say, right? A lot of times you see Protoss players, they'll use their early goons to control that space before mines get laid. That way, if you can deny the Vulture from getting inside, it makes it where when you send that first observer straight across the map, you can still go take your expansion without having to clear any mines first, right? So it's actually like a pretty big advantage. But we see that barracks line and start building Marines again, so this signifies that Mihu is going to go for one of his pushes.
Yeah, I mean, once you start making more Marines. But once again, DeWalt playing 3-gate obs, man. He knows his opponent.
Yeah, when you're going 3-gate obs, you want to get pushed by something like this a lot of the time. It can be something that, if you're pumping goons nonstop and then you get, you have that 3 tank push or something walk into you and you come out with like 7, 8, 9 goons and you get to shut it down, then suddenly you just can do whatever you want from there.
Yeah, you could take a 4th Nexus, you can just add more, go whatever you want. Win a fight, take a base. Standard PvT.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. We're going to lift the barracks. I think we're waiting on probably 2 more tanks. Could be Vultures behind this. I'm not entirely sure how Mihu wants to do it, but if we don't push, I'd be amazed, because I don't know what we're making the Marines for if that's the case.
Ooh, gets a little Vulture early there.
All right, here comes tanks 4 and 5. Are we going to unload and go, or are we just playing defensive here? So it looks like we're not actually going. I wonder if maybe he just saw the goon count with the observer and he's thinking, hey, this is 3-gate obs, so I don't want to risk pushing it up a high ground or something into that, right?
All right, well, giving a good. Now we may go. Killing 1 goon, that's it.
That's the
He's
trigger.
like, that's all I needed there, DeWalt, was you to lose 1 goon. Oh my goodness. These
Wow, pretty.
A ton of DPS.
Yeah, it's a pretty even split overall. I think I'd call that DeWalt favored, though. Those 3 tanks going down. He did lose a bunch of the goons, but he's got the 3-gate production behind it. That was pretty good splitting of the damage on DeWalt. or from Dewalt onto the tanks. I think it could have been like slightly better optimized, but yeah, he did a really good job of picking those off. And with those tanks going down, Mihu not going to be comfortable continuing to push, but it does allow the vultures to get onto the map here.
Yeah, this is always the next tricky part is, right? Speed vultures flying in here. Does Dewalt see it? He's trying to pull his units back. Mihu's checking the wrong base. Oh, they don't have speed, so
Yeah,
fortunate for Dewalt.
And once again, we see the 5-fact before armory from Mihu. It's so crazy because like everything I've been taught about how to play TvP tells me this is wrong, but Mihu being one of the best foreigners, in the world with Terran, makes me think that my coaches are wrong,
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own little style. For him, this is what he likes. He likes this aggression. I think it's very strong, but if you fail on this first attack, you're usually way behind.
Yeah,
right?
you
Like,
have to get something done.
Yeah, you have to make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, props to him. It's kind of a crazy way to play the game because you put so much pressure on yourself, right? Where you have to get some value or you lose the game. That's essentially how he plays the game. And it seems like he's comfortable playing with that pressure on him all the time because he just does it every single game.
Still no vulture speed, just kind of
Yeah, that's actually
drifting
kind of
around the
crazy.
map. A little surprised
Vultures.
here. And Dewalt, I think he's added enough gateways.
I mean, this might just be the same kind of push, but it's going to be coming a little bit later, and Dewalt has had a much better early game so far.
Yeah, our gate count isn't that high. We haven't really gone up to that 6 right away. We do have a Reaver here. Oh, it doesn't fire though. Ozzy didn't fire.
I can't believe he's committing so hard into this tank line. I guess he knows what he's doing. A couple of the tanks go down. The other tank's very, very low. He's getting these drops off between the siege tank shots. And I guess we clean this up. That's crazy. This to me was one of those fights. It's like when I watch Best do an attack, and I'm like, this is a terrible idea, by the way. And then they win the fight, so it's like, okay. I guess you know better than me. But yeah, that looked like such a tough fight. The siege line was already set up. He had the vultures and everything out in front of the tanks. And Dewalt came in like half single file almost into those tanks, but he still cleaned it up. So props to Dewalt. Really good Reaver control, honestly, being able to drop between the siege tank fires so that it never took damage.
Yeah, the Reaver was kind of the big difference maker there. Got a couple good shots on multiple tanks, and Dewalt following up here with the 4th Nexus to really push his lead. The question is, does Mihu now try to extend this game, or is he just going to add a factory into and just continue to push? I think that's really his only 2 options, right? Like, it's either go hyper-aggressive or hold on. Oh, Reaver's getting some value again.
Yeah. Now, we are definitely set up against the shuttles, holy. But yeah, we see the 3rd CC is down. We got the 6th factory coming down because we're going to want that extra production for helping us defend the space to take that 3rd base. But considering, I mean, that he lost his whole push, supply doesn't look terrible for Mihu. Those upgrades obviously are going to be a lot later than normal. But it was like a relatively even trade on the army, at least, right? That it was like almost a draw. Dewalt won the fight technically, but he lost everything too.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Dewalt, you're happy with trading out the army, right? You're taking your 4th, you're feeling comfortable. Mihu, now probably going to need a 3rd and 4th base and drag this on a little bit, right? Try to get to 200. I have a feeling we're going to see Dewalt try to max out on these 4 bases ASAP and try to bust once again since he held the first push so well.
Yeah, I think so. Mihu getting set up relatively nicely here. It does have the sci-fi coming down, so we can continue upgrades when that +1 finishes. And yeah, typically from here, from the Protoss pair, we start to see that shuttle count kind of build up and a lot of harass, and that's typically Dewalt's playstyle as well. That being said, we're sitting back a little bit passive right now. We're just, building up. We got our 4th base up and running. You don't want to stay 4 base versus 3 base Terran for too long. Terran will eventually outscale you, so I think he is working towards that 5th base bottom right with that unit going down there trying to clear this vulture out.
Yeah, we see Dewalt's supply really shooting up here. he may have a window to try to lead one attack. Mihu's tank line is pretty spread between his natural and third. Could a bunch of shuttles with Zealous and Reverse maybe be able to break this position?
Yeah, he's definitely got the supply. With a well-executed attack, I could see him trading pretty well. He doesn't necessarily need to kill Mihu even, but even just resetting a lot of the tanks to buy himself time as he's taking this 5th base and eventually the corner base as well would be great for him, because just anything that delays Mihu's push, you just got to be a little bit careful, because a botched attack also could just lead to a counter push and everything just ending all of a sudden. So Dewalt is max though, so we're gonna see something relatively soon, either shuttle bombs into the main or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this all the time, is that once you're maxed out here with all ground army, you really got to start trading off, right? Like, you've already reached the peak of where you can be. Like, DeWalt's army's getting no better.
Right.
Mihu's army is scaling into the late game with upgrades, so you really got to try to get something done and then continue to transition in or continue to attack. It looks like DeWalt's going for it. Here we go. This looks like a tough angle. I thought he would come from the other side, but he's trying to get through. His army looks like it's going to just be exploded right now, Ozzy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we are not doing great here. We're trying to fit the square through the circle hole right now, and it's kind of working, actually. Sort of. I mean, we're going to lose a lot of our units. You've seen the supplies even up a bit, but he is breaking the position, surprisingly. I thought this was terrible. Once again, right? I see him going through this little bitty corridor into this tank line, and he's still... I don't think I'd call it a successful push, but it went a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah, I thought we just got our whole entire army right in the meat grinder, and it was gone. But somehow he does trade off some army, which is good, which is what you want to do with this style. I just don't know. I think we were up like 60 supply there, and now we're only up 7. And Mihu, like you said, Ozzy's like, okay, you want to attack and fail? I'm coming back the other way.
Yeah, and this is the scary part, right? Your attack pretty much fails. We're going to get a little bit of a storm drop here. It looks like we are going to kill a few of the SCVs, but that's not the main threat to Dewalt right now. It is this push that is coming towards this base, and it's setting up in a position that gets very, very hard for Protoss to dislodge. And it looks like he may have even transferred the probes already. Yeah, he did. He already knew this base was forfeit when he saw this push coming, so great awareness from Dewalt. I think that is the right call, because defending this base when Terran is set up can be a death sentence.
Yeah, this was a good call from Dewalt to save the probes. He knew he can't bust it. His supply is not high enough. The shuttle harassment has now begun, but I'm getting a little worried here for Dewalt, Ozzy. We're on bases 4 and 5, but our gateway count isn't that great. Like, we're not set up very well for this late game.
Yeah, and we've kind of got our mining disrupted, right? We had to transfer that one base, so we're mining on 4 base again instead of our 5 bases like we wanted, but we do have that transfer going on the bottom right, so his economy's about to get back online. He did deny the 4th, so that's nice, and Mihu is on a little bit of a timer to be getting that 4th base up and running relatively soon, because he's going to be mining out on his main and natural. And once that happens, if you're staying on 2 base mining as Terran, you're always staying in the game, but once you get down to 1 base, it starts getting a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, DeWalt getting his army in position, may want to fight in the middle of the map here where there's more space. Oh! Okay, didn't look like they were too brutal.
Yeah, we see Mihu pushing this tank line pretty far forward.
Oh, where are those vultures going there, Ozzy? Where are those vultures going? Yeah, the vultures
left right as the shuttles dive in, so all these tanks being left alone here. The eBay soaking a ton of damage, though, to keep these tanks alive a little bit longer. Nice Reaver shot, actually, getting killed like 5 vultures on that backside. Man, that eBay floating bought a ton of time.
Yeah, but you said Scarab, oh my goodness, exploded half of those tanks, and oh, we're dragging these mines. Oh my goodness, can we get him there? Nope. But this is all good here, I think, for Dewalt, man. He's trading out so many tanks. He can just pull back now. He lost some zealots for tanks and vultures, cleared it, denying Mihu that 4th if he wants. I think that was a very successful engage there for Dewalt.
I agree. I think this is the first good fight Dewalt's had of the game. He killed a ton of tanks, pushed the siege line back. And I think... I'm not sure we're going to pivot at 12 o'clock now. It might be a little bit too late. Mihu getting his reinforcements here now, so I don't think we're going to be able to deny this force, so that's a little bit unfortunate from Dewalt. Is at least killing these vultures on the backside that we're trying to pin these these goons in. So getting a nice little cleanup there, and now gonna have to fall back. So Mihu at least does get to keep his 4th base, but Dewalt is up and mining pretty healthy on VOG. You see it in his economy and eco and supply and everything now, right? He's remaxing pretty quickly. So yeah, Dewalt is finally in a pretty healthy state in this game.
Yeah, I would like to see Dewalt get a gateway farm down the bottom right over there, really start amping up that production so he can just go through both sets of gateways and remax even faster, because that's where this gets tricky at the end of the game here, right? Like, you're going to be trading off so many units, you got to be able to replenish as Protoss over and over and over again with those zealots to keep running them in.
Yeah. Mihu's macro is also doing pretty well right now. His upgrades are getting stronger and stronger. So, and that is kind of the concern for shuttle style, is once they start hitting that 3-3 mech or 3-2 mech, your shuttle style starts having a pretty hard time trading. We see that second robo coming in, so we're just going to keep doing the shuttles, which is pretty typical. I mean, once you've like decided you're doing the shuttles and the bombing and stuff, you kind of get locked into doing that for the rest of the game.
Yeah, unless you're having... Oh, here we go. Dewalt said, I'm not waiting. Oh, big storms on those vultures, clearing them out. Pretty good storms on the tanks, too, coming in from 2 different angles. Here is Dewalt. Can he break through? We do see supplies getting closer, but there is a ton of Protoss armies still here.
Yeah, this fight going pretty well again for Dewalt, I think. We're killing a lot of the tanks. Yes, we're bleeding off a lot of units, but we're pushing the tank line back once again. Mihu does still defend. Once again, I seem to be unable to read these fights. Okay, Dewalt is going to be able to break through and finish off a lot of these tanks. So once again, yeah, Mihu's tank out getting reset means that, hey, we're stuck defending for the next few minutes yet again.
Yeah, Dewalt doing a great job of resetting this and just fighting army versus army here and taking it out. It's really well done from him. You know, that's what you need. You're trading, you know, zealots and dragoons for these tanks, and that's a big deal. It's hard to recover that tank count. Oh, we're trying to kill a missile turret. I loved it.
I think it actually went down to that last shot, it sounded like, so opening up the potential for some drops there. We see the expansion. Dewalt did take his retake his 3rd base there, and I imagine it's probably not too far off of taking the next base between the 2 mains there on the bottom right. So yeah, Dewalt continuing to grow as he pressures, which is great to see. You kind of want to see that from the shuttle style, right? It's a very high intensity, like fight kind of composition, and you just got to make sure you're still growing relatively steadily behind it.
Yeah, need to keep taking bases. Like, I would even like to see him get a probe top right, you know, just take the base itself, put some cannons up there, you know, deny Mihu from ever getting up there, and have another place where you're producing units. Oh, I'm another eBay. How many eBays can we make this game?
Yeah, we keep making them to make turrets and then using them to body block the goons and then have to remake it again. But yeah, we're going to get a shuttle bomb here on the top side. Going to be some storms, some reavers. Dropping out, Reaver immediately goes down though. Decent storm dodging as well. Not very many SCVs going down so far. And it looks like we ran out of storm, so pretty good dodging from Mihu. And we're getting to the point where I start getting worried about the late game for Dewalt, because if Mihu gets another base or 2, then we're kind of encroaching on split map, which is not good for Protoss.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the Terran army, once it gets to 3-2, is just scary, right? It's hard to fight into, it's hard to fight in setup, and this is why shuttle style, like you said, kind of falls off, because you're just not trading effectively anymore. I think it almost becomes better to drop at the naturals or any of the expansions and storm SCV lines than anything else. Try to avoid the mech army head on.
Yeah. And we are going to go for a bit of a drop here on this base. Pretty good storm actually going to kill, was that 10 SCVs, so finally a little bit of eco damage, but there's a lot of SCVs here, so I don't know how much that really hurts them. Plus we're on a 5 command center, so he's going to be able to replace it relatively quickly.
Go to Walt. I don't know if this...
Oh,
no! Oh, breaks my heart right there.
Yeah, a few games going down to those mines, pretty painful. And yeah, we've got that base number 5 here slowly being secured by Mihu. Dewalt going to try to deny it. Mihu spots these shuttles incoming and just preemptively transfers, so there's going to be nothing here to storm other than some units, which is okay to do, but not ideal. It's not what you're looking for here.
No, but Dewalt can be able to pick off this CC, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so did get a good distraction going and going to be able to kill the CC. So this is great for Dewalt. You know, we've kind of reached the stage of the game where it's like, hey, we have to starve him on 4 base total now. So yeah, killing the CC and slowing this down is big. I'd like to see another expansion for Dewalt relatively soon, though, with our second base drying up. We're probably not too far off of 3 and 4 getting a little bit low as well.
Yeah, I mean, I also feel like he could still play in Arbors if he really wanted to from here, right? Like, he doesn't need the upgrades for them really other than Stasis, but this big army in the middle, Dewalt kind of walking up here, has a ton of Templars, getting a ton of Storms. Mihu not sieged up, man. Those tanks took a ton of damage.
Yeah, they are very low now, and because he's going to re-push this side, and I feel like we're going to see a repeat of earlier where Dewalt just has to abandon this base now because, once again, he can't really push into this position. So yeah, that was a kind of an interesting fight from Dewalt. It was a little bit scattered, it felt like, but he got a lot of the storms off, and actually he probably feels like they are soft enough and there's not a lot of protection here for the tank, so he is going to come with these 4 shuttles and try to break this position. And in the meantime, these goons on the top side fighting through the siege line, so he is going to be able to clean this up. So great defense from Dewalt so far. Going to need probably another rally of units to kind of finish securing that base though. But these goons did at least distract me on the top side and buy him some time as well.
Yeah, it seems like Dewalt has done it here in terms of busting the bigger army here, starting denying these bases. Mihu trying to expand now down towards Dewalt where he's pushing, which is a good idea, but I think he's spread a little bit thin at this point.
Yeah, you see all of a sudden Mihu's supply and bank just plummeted, right? He's running out of the eco that he needs to continue his production. He's trying to get this 9 o'clock base secured, which I like expanding patterns like this because it's like, hey, I want to push down, so I'm going to expand so that I'm attacking and defending at the same time.
Yeah, we'll see if he can hold this position now, or if Dewalt's just going to be able to break through again. Dewalt taking mid right, it looks like, as well. So he is trying to expand now.
Yeah, I kind of like that he's taking 3 o'clock before this other base, because that pocketed base down there in the bottom is pretty much always going to be there for him in this game. So if we get to the point where he needs an extra base and he's having a hard time getting one secured, that will be one that's always going to be there for him. Coming in for the shuttle bomb here, but it's actually right before the SCV transfer came in. And it looks like okay, there is a storm here. So unfortunately, Dewalt hitting about 5 seconds too early and missing the probe transfer. We actually stormed our own shuttles there, so a couple of shuttles are going to go down.
Yeah, this is where I don't play this style that much, Ozzy, as you know. Like, I think it's very hard, and I think this is where it becomes harder and harder. Though Dewalt seems to be like dominating the game, Mihu's just getting bases, which is going to continue to extend, and these drops I feel like do less and less and less.
Yeah, I agree. And this is a win condition for Mihu. Like, you have games like this from Terran sometimes where it's like it seems like they're getting like battered over and over again, right? And they're barely holding on, but barely holding on isn't necessarily losing as the Terran player. As long as you can continue taking one more base, and then one more base, and then one more base, eventually this can lead to a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if he can push down and maybe take that Dewalt's third base from him, right? And continue to push towards Dewalt's natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Dewalt
it's a little bit of a tough
going
position.
For it, Ozzy.
Yeah, it does look like we are setting up for a big bust here. He might try to avoid this on the left side, yeah, and just swing towards 12 o'clock. Mihu going to try to mirror that relatively quickly. You saw the unsiege. We see the unit composition from Mihu coming up here to the top. Shuttle's going to bomb on top of the tanks up here, but mines actually catch a few of the Templar, which is pretty nice. But this is a big Protoss army catching a fair amount of the Terran army out of position. Tanks firing from the low ground is going to lower their DPS a fair amount as well. And big storms on these tanks, and Dewalt is once again breaking through this 12 o'clock position, and he's got a lot left over this time. This is probably the most he's had left over after breaking this position, so that 12 o'clock is in a lot of danger, Raz.
Yeah, I think he's done it here. Ozzy, he's broken through this whole tank line. He's got a massive supply lead now. He's about to take out this base from Mihu. Mihu will be down to one base mining, and like you said, that's when things really become a problem for Terran. Cannot sustain on one base. It looks like Mihu's trying to fight back here, but he just cannot get up this ramp. We stormed all those vultures, my goodness.
Yeah, this base going down for Mihu means that he's going to have a hard time macroing now. I mean, you see Dewalt has this huge bank built up. He's taken the top right corner after breaking this position, which I think is a fantastic call, because with this being broken and Mihu having one mining base on the left, you pressure Mihu into attacking top right now, but if he attacks and commits to top right, he can't leave 9 exposed at the same time, because then he just dies, right? So this expansion from Dewalt is super, super smart.
Yeah, and he got the CC there. That's big, right? He wasn't able to float it away. So, trouble, trouble, trouble. It looks like Dewalt looking for the killer punch right here. Oh man.
My god.
Those were a lot of damaged SCVs there, Ozzy, and now Dewalt pushing through here.
Yeah, we're going to see Mihu swing this army down here. He's going to be able to defend it for now, but, I mean, Dewalt pretty much doubling Mihu's supply at this point. Mihu's money, you see it, is just barely going up right now. He's going to try and transfer some more SCVs, potentially, to that expansion, retaking 12 o'clock with just a handful of SCVs. And yeah, I think that storm and that bust at 12 o'clock, I think we just lost like 40 SCVs or something in this game.
Yeah, we see the supply now, 114 to 199. Just Dewalt is looking for killing moments here to really end this game and looking to tie up this series. But Mihu not going down without a fight.
As you know from your ladder games, Raz, Terran players just won't quit, right?
They don't leave, man. They don't leave.
Here we go, another big storm drop here at 9 o'clock, and just even the mines killing a few of the SCVs, right? Just insult to injury. Mihu down to no SCVs hardly. I mean, we're on like what, 15, 20 SCVs probably on the map.
Yeah, not good for him. Just battling this out, forcing Dewalt to actually kill him all the way.
Mihu says the objective of the game is to kill all the opponent's buildings, and he is not leaving before then.
He will not.
But I get it, you know, now that I've become a Terran player, I find myself in these games quite often where it's like, okay, I know I have a literal 0% chance of winning, but I have 3/3 mech, so maybe.
There's always hope, you know?
Yeah, gonna push into this top right base here. And I guess maybe he's probably thinking, you know, if I can hold on to this left side base, if I can clear this in the top right and continue expanding towards the top right, technically I still have a win condition. It's enough of a split map that I can still win from here. And is gonna kill this base at least. 12 o'clock is gonna get shoved off once again, though. And it's just Mihu's supply is not growing, right? Like we're staying below 100 supply for the last several minutes.
We have no SCVs. We have no army now, so this may trigger finally the GG.
Yeah, big reaction there from Mihu, and GG is going to be called. Dewalt going to tie the series up 1-1. Really well played from Dewalt. I love the constant aggression, and yeah, his shuttle style, man, he just keeps hammering you over and over and over again. He's relentless with it.
Yeah, got a little scary there, you know, running into the mech, but he was able to finally break and reset the tank count a couple times and just kind of started Mihu out. Mihu trying to take that 5th base at mid-left, couldn't hold it, and then finally, you know, it's never the first storm drop that really kills you, because as long as you pull, they all get damaged, but it's the second and the third, and we kind of saw that where Templar started just storming one time and killing 20 SCVs, and Mihu just couldn't keep up, so that puts our series at 1-1 so far. So Dewalt's got to feel good, got a point under his score column, so he should be feeling good going into Metropolis.
Yeah, I think so. And Metropolis is, I don't know. It's one of those maps. I guess Terran players like this map. I mean, if you do drop play and stuff, it can be pretty annoying, but I actually feel like I've very rarely seen Terrans doing drops on this map, even though it has like that kind of ledge behind the natural. It would make you think that Terrans would be going for tank drops or something, but I actually almost never see this on this map.
Yeah, I think not that far distances base to base, and you can get some good pushing power like through certain avenues of the map. So knowing Mihu's style, hyper aggression here, small push distances, I think we're going to see him go for it early again.
Yeah, I think so. And that does just kind of suit his style a bit more. And I'd like to see one thing that Dewalt did last game that I really respect You know, we were talking about this attack that he did that was a bad attack, right? Where he traded down definitely a fair amount and this caused Mihu to come out. But maybe that was the plan all along, you know? You have this Terran that's just completely locked in. Sometimes you want to do a bad attack so they come out and push you know? So maybe that's a 200 IQ throwaway army moment.
There it is. 200 IQ. 200 IQ. So maybe Mihu were taking some time to reset, get himself focused.
Yeah, for sure. Seems like it. He's taking his time joining, so it could be that he's, you know, watching the replay or something like that. He actually looked pretty upset at the end of that replay, so I think he was a bit frustrated with that loss. Felt like he shouldn't have lost that game.
I think that pushing, like you said, the middle one that got stormed, like no siege, is just too much to overcome. But all right, our players are ready. We're tied 1-1. Let's get into game number 3 between Dewalt and Mihu.
Alright, spawning in the bottom left, we have our Protoss player Dewalt, and his opponent cross-spawn on Metropolis is going to be Mihu.
Alright, cross spawns. Let's see, can Dewalt channel it and go Nexus first?
Can he just feel it?
Channel it in the game? Like, oh yeah. My opponent's cross map, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah, this is one of those maps where I actually don't like 12 Nexus as the Protoss player. Kind of like you said, the rush distances typically aren't too long. It is obviously a little bit long cross spawn, of course, but otherwise it's pretty short, and you also can't do like full walls like you can on some of the other maps, right? This map is specifically made so that there is no full wall opportunity for Protoss to shut out any pushes early.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know if it's really a well-built map for Nexus first, but you never know. Dewalt might just go for it. That might be the reason he goes for it, knowing that Mihu knows that meta game.
Well, there are actually, I mean, unironically, there would be some logic behind that because Mihu does greed for the SCVs in the CC and skips those Marines a lot of the game. So if he does get a late scout against the 12 Nexus at some point in the series, it could actually come back to bite Mihu that he skips those Marines.
Could, for sure. Let's see if Dewalt will maybe start with some early pressure into the Zealot. I know a lot of times I've seen countless pros open up Zealot here because of the distance and so much CC first type builds. Knowing that, ooh, we're at 13 and no gas here, Ozzy.
Yeah, we're gonna go 15 CC, it looks like, with our barracks back in our base, so it's kind of an interesting way of going about it. Sometimes you'll see it like on the ramp instead of out front, but I almost never see it by the CC like this.
He just took his... We're getting a little hybrid or something? We just took our gas at 15.
That is interesting. I don't know what this is.
It's one of those,
it's gonna
like,
get in. It's gonna scout the late gas, and I wonder what this indicates to Dewalt. I mean, it's gonna be like a, like a 20 CC or 21 CC or something. It's gonna be CC before factory, I guess.
Yeah, I know Mong plays that like hybrid style where it's like CC but also factory. So that might be what he's mimicking here, where he's got this build from. But Dewalt looks like he's going to just go for rangeless again.
You know, I didn't see it. Is it possible that he saw the probe coming to scout him? Because that actually would be a reason that he would do that. Because sometimes you're going for 15 CC and you see that probe coming, you take your gas so that it doesn't get stolen. Because if you get gas stolen when you're going 15 CC, you pretty much auto die to any proxy robo reaver pushes.
Yeah, so maybe he did see it, so he just took it.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense if that's what happened to me anyway.
Right now, both players just trying to play into that mid game here, looking to have those power spikes with these early command center and Nexus. Nothing crazy, no DTs, no Reavers, no nothing.
Yeah, our observer taking a screenshot there. I'm not sure what he saw that he liked, but Something good. But yeah, it was kind of a. Did Dewalt do? It was like a 23 Nexus, but he took range after the Nexus. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, he went rangeless again. It was a little bit earlier. It was like 19, 20 again.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry, guys. I seem to be missing some things this game, so I apologize. Yeah, I was kind of wondering how that was possible, because that's what I saw, and I was like, there's no way we did a 23 Nexus and didn't start range. That doesn't make sense, but okay. My bad.
Much faster armory this game here.
Yeah, this is a normal armory timing from Mihu. That is the strangest thing I've seen out of him so far. Watching his games, this is the most normal opener I think I've ever seen out of him.
I feel like for Terran, it's really not hard to get their third in this map, you know, right? Like you just kind of push across the one opening and up the ramp, and you're good. As long as you get up that ramp, should be pretty straightforward. So maybe he's looking more to play like a 3-base timing attack kind of style this time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's looking. This is looking like a normal defensive, like upgrade style almost from Mihu, which is the opposite of what I would ever expect from him.
Maybe he just wants to bunker in for a little bit and let Dewalt attack into him.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's not the worst thing against shuttle style, right? Because against shuttle style, like if you just grow steady and get your upgrades, it's kind of like what we were talking about last game, where eventually you do outscale that style of play. So maybe he just wants to get to a stage of the game where he's against that style, where he's very comfortable and can fight it a bit better than he did last game.
Just gonna hold on. Counter push back, which, like you said, is not very Mihu-esque, but maybe he just wants to counter what Dewalt's doing. Dewalt getting a very fast third here too, Ozzy. Under sub 6 minute third.
Yeah, I guess he did 3-8 obs again, but to do that he must have cut some goons, right? I think what he's seeing from Mihu, just he saw that the tank timing was a little bit later than normal, is because Mihu went for that armory a lot faster, so tank's coming a little bit slower. So I think Dewalt, very intelligent, seems to have identified this is not a normal, like, fast push timing from Mihu. That being said, we're getting a 4-tank push from Mihu.
We're pushing it anyway.
It's interesting because
okay with that, right? Like he's went through 8 obs, like he's got 3 goons in production each time.
Yeah, if he's gonna wait for these extra 3 goons to join, and he should be able to just crush this, right? Because we're gonna be on like 8 or 9 goons. It's gonna be a pretty good goon count. Gonna jump on top of this first tank and kill it immediately too. And great target from the other goons as well. Got a nice quick volley on that second tank. He might end up needing one more round of goons before he can push this all the way back. So Mihu might trade out a little bit and then start to back up. But before that happens, Dewalt gonna pounce on top of this, take out one more of the tank. The other tanks, both about half HP. So Mihu gonna go down. Great deflection here from Dewalt. That third base, it has the pylon wall up, so it's not going to be in danger from these vultures, although they might be going around the long way. And they are going to get up there, but they're going to see this completed Nexus. It's going to be able to kill one, probably the second probe if it comes out while they're up here. Going to lay some mines to buy a little bit of time. And now he realizes, oh, I'm trapped up here.
Oh, might be able to get a couple more probes now that we're transferring some over. Just one more.
Nice drill, actually. We're going straight to 6-pack. So basically, everything that I ever say about Mihu being passive, it was a lie.
It was a lie. But he just lost that push. He sees the early third Nexus. Like, I don't know what's triggering him not to try to play into a more defensive style, that he's saying, let's go for it. Now, Dewalt has something building hidden on top of his base, so I don't know what is top left up there.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Might be
does get another vulture snuck in here. I'm gonna kill like 1 or 2 more probes, but if he's going carrier, that would actually be ideal for Mihu. And yes, I spoke about this before. So I've made this joke a few times, but it's really not even a joke anymore. I swear when I'm watching Mihu, he has two ways of thinking. I know you guys have heard me say this like 3 or 4 times, but I'm just gonna say it again because it keeps applying. It's either hey, I'm ahead, I can kill him with a push, or hey, I'm behind, I need to kill him with a push. Like, I feel like this is how Mihu thinks about StarCraft.
Well, he might get a little lucky here if Dewalt just goes right into carry, which maybe not. I don't know what that is. Top left. Yep. Oh no, it's not a Stargate. It's just legs +1 in archive. So this is fine for Dewalt, right? He can just macro up as well. Mihu going out, man. He just always. I don't even know if he got enough production out of those 6 factories, Ozzy. He's just like, I got to go. I have to push. It's been about 5 minutes. How could I not attack again?
He must get like really antsy or like anxious or something when he's not attacking, right? Like, the crazy thing is his supply stays really high. Like, he is a macro god, by the way. Like, the fact that he can attack so often and still keep his supply high is what makes him so scary. Like, I feel like Dewalt's playing perfectly correctly against his opponent, right? He's not going crazy tech. He like held that push, and instead of getting super greedy, he goes Citadel Archives and adds like 4 more gateways, right? Which is perfect against what Mihu is doing. But at the same time, this push from Mihu is still terrifying for Dewalt.
Yeah, I mean, he did go up the gateway count. He did go speed, like you said, and yet still here we are. Mihu trying to get kind of into that third base corridor so he can kind of have more focused fire, because it'll be hard to break him right once he gets into here. Let's see if Dewalt tries to go for it. Again, the 1DT, but we have...
Oh, man.
Oh! That's fantastic!
Well, I was about to say he might abandon this base, but with all those vultures going down, yeah, let's get our army together first there, Dewalt. Don't get too over anxious, but yeah, with all those vultures going down, these zealots are going to be super strong here now, jumping on top of these tanks, and yeah, those mine drags from that DT was absolutely huge.
They were massive. Wow. Dewalt crushing this attack now. Those 2 DTs dragging those mines, making the major difference. And if you're Mihu here, you have to be concerned. You just lost all of your tanks. You don't have a 3rd command center. I don't know what to say. He's got to be a little bit in shambles.
Yeah, it looks like he is expanding at 12 o'clock. So this is the time that he decides he wants to expand. But Dewalt already has that. Yeah, the Z-Bay is keeping his goons out forever. And these vultures actually killing a lot of probes here on the bottom side. Yeah. So Mihu finding some damage on the back end. Even going to catch this probe transfer. It's only a few probes here, but it is something. We do have some DTs actually up there. Oh, no, we didn't fix the transfer, though.
This is the way you get back in it slowly, right?
Yeah. And Mihu,
you know what we're going to do, Ozzy? We just lost our last push, so let's just push again. Why stop here?
Why stop here? Scans to push those DTs back, bringing some tanks over here for these cannons, and dude, Mihu is relentless, and he's only down 20 supply right now. Like, it's really not even that bad looking for him.
It's unbelievable. All right, kills the 1 DT. He's gonna get this base somehow. So we failed our 6 fact push, so we decided to push again, and we're gonna kill a base. Yeah, while expanding. I don't know. I'm starting to think Terran can do it all, man. Sit.
Yeah, maybe Mihu just embraces his inner Protoss player as a Terran player, right? Like, he's like, why don't we just attack and expand at the same time constantly? Like, if your attack fails, just do it again. We'll eventually figure it out.
We'll break through, one time or another.
Yeah, Dewalt does at least smartly get up here and deny this expansion for a little bit, but he has to be very careful. He's only on that 1 extra base. If this 3rd base goes down, he will actually be behind in this game. There's not a whole lot of tanks here, at least, but it's very, very vulture heavy. So if he can find a way to get through these tanks, the goons can reign supreme.
2 tanks just kind of coming through the middle of the map, no big deal. Rolling on in.
Oh man, these mines though cleaned up a lot of the zealots, but yeah, like I said, there's no tanks here hardly. Even gonna catch the High Templar here that just finished.
And we're getting a lot of eco damage here done as Mihu, but I think we lost our 3rd command center and we lost our army. But like you're saying, Ozzy, we're only down 20 supplies somehow. Oh no, it didn't burn down. Look at that. He still has it. It's a pretty big deal. We'll be 3 base versus 3 base. If we can sit for more than 30 seconds. I don't know if we can, though.
Well, why not just attack while we finish this base? Surely we realize this is burning, by the way. We're not going to let this burn down, right, Mihu?
Who knows?
Okay, he just clicked it again. Surely he saw it this time. Mihu.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Not like this, Mihu.
This is how we lose.
Okay, he is repairing it. Okay.
Okay.
Man, I was ready for it, that this was going to be the losing moment, though. Let our CC burn down.
That's how we lose the game, you know?
But yeah, as you said, I mean, this makes us 3 base versus 3 base right now, which is not good for Protoss. Dewalt going to try to expand here to the bottom right, going to retake this, or take the bottom right here as his 4th base and maybe transition to the main base a little bit later. Going to go for a bit of a bomb here onto these tanks, but pretty much just a donation. We killed, what, maybe 1 vulture there, so not what Dewalt is looking for right now.
No. And we're holding strong on this position. Dewalt desperately needs another base here, though, as he needs to probably double expand on the bottom right, because right now we're starting to get low in income in our NAT, and we have 1 base, and we don't want to be 2 base versus 2 base mining.
Looking for a little bit of additional value. But yeah, I agree 100%. We really kind of need to get to that 5th base pretty quickly. We have a ton of goons right now.
Yeah, which makes sense for how many vultures we have been seeing, but let's see if we're going to sneak some vultures around some tanks and try to cancel this other base out.
I don't think Dewalt noticed that dropship just yet. Looks like he hasn't clicked on it or seen it yet. And this dropship does have a tank in it, so I think he's going to go for that high ground tank drop we were kind of talking about. We see him wrapping around with it, with that dropship, so...
Yeah, he can run vultures around the 3rd, like mid-right base, and get down there.
Yeah, he's going to lay mines on that ramp to make it extra annoying for...
I think he's going to drop and move out, and he is actually ahead in supply right now. Here, Ozzy.
Yeah, this is crazy from Mihu. I think you're 100% right. Yeah, even some goons going down to these mines is taking a siege up, and, you know, this base isn't even hardly mining right now. It's just pulling Dewalt over here, and Mihu actually coming this direction to catch the probes and the army that was coming over here to clean this up.
Yeah, Dewalt not going to be happy. He has Dragoon stuck in the base. He's going to be behind these mine lines, and these siege tanks are going to be set up over here. His army a little disjointed, cannot just lose these Dragoons for free. Mihu putting himself in a serious position here.
You see Dewalt, he kind of hesitated because he didn't have observers there for the mines yet, but yeah, he's kind of floundering around, not sure exactly how he should respond to this. He's going to try to counter the 12 o'clock position. I think that is the best he can hope to do at this point, but I mean, Mihu's up 20 supply. This position, pretty insane, and breaking these bases, not easy at all with these mineral ramps. And look at all the army coming over here. I don't think we're breaking through here.
Maybe a great mine. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, even at this point, if he does break it, I don't even think it's good enough, right?
No, we wasted our entire army. How do we deal with the army at bottom right? So even if he does buster with a few units left over, it's probably not going to matter. Mihu now up 50 supply of his own. Ozzy, the push style seems to get it done here in game number 3.
It really does. And I don't even feel like I saw Dewalt do anything wrong. Like, his response to what he was saying seemed correct. Like,
wow.
Mihu just, there's just something about his aggression, man. He finds a way.
It's crazy. You're right. He pushed, he lost everything, didn't kill much, got some probe kills, and then said, you know what, let's add on 3 factories and let's go for it again. He's able to take out that 4th base that's mid left, gets the drop, pulls Dewalt's army, and then just runs him over. I mean, very, very crazy game to me.
Yeah, absolutely insane. It's scary for me when I'm watching a game as the observer, and I'm like, Dewalt didn't do anything wrong, but he lost anyway. Like, I agreed with his responses to the situation, to how he was building. He wasn't being overly greedy. He wasn't, you know, going carriers or anything. He knows that this repush is coming, and it's just, man, Mihu his macro, honestly, is what always gets me. It seems like he's never down in supply after failing pushes.
Yeah, he just keeps coming back and keeps attacking and getting in spots. And he's very good about where he pushes into to try to get up the best setup and best angle to fight. you know, but that happens because of his distractions and multitasking, right?
Yeah, it's
He's
actually
done
a really good
did a
point.
really good job. He drops the shuttle down there. You send down the group of goons. He's like, "All right, got you. You've moved all your army. Here we go."
Yeah, that is actually a really good point that you're making, that Mihu does seem to always be in like the best position for it, but looks like our players are ready, so we're going to jump into game 4 here. It's going to be Eclipse. That's going to be Dewalt's pick. So we got Dewalt versus Mihu on Eclipse. So spawning in the top right, we have our Terran player Mihu. On the bottom left, his opponent is going to be our Protoss player Dewalt.
All right, Eclipse, PVT, Ozzy. Let's see if we're gonna have a gas deal or forward gate or what Dewalt's gonna go for here.
Yeah, it's always interesting to me to see the different like styles that the higher level players bring out on this map. Usually, I'm seeing the like forward gate gas deal, or sometimes even like the fake gas deal to make them take their gas with the zealot pressure. That's kind of the most common thing I see at the higher levels. But if you think your opponent has like really good micro and they're going to respond well, a lot of times you'll see just a gas steal into like a 12 nexus. But it looks like Dewalt not planning on stealing a gas at all.
We didn't build okay, I thought we didn't build our pylon, but we did. So we got a nine, I was like, what are we doing here? Like a 9 pylon? Like 9, like what's going on here?
Going 9 nexus.
9 nexus, new build.
Well, how do you feel about just playing standard here? I kind of personally don't like that for Protoss players. Like, if I'm playing Eclipse as a Terran player and I get into a normal game, I actually love Eclipse for a normal game.
Yeah, I think it's hard to fight on this map, right? Like when Terran pushes down the middle of the map, like it's a very small surface area to attack into. I mean, if you're gonna play normal and try to like go quick 3 base, like 10 gateway, don't let them out, maybe. You know, stop them as they come out of their natural, but
Just 7 arc.
but I think anyone would tell you it's usually a winning position, right? When Protoss takes the gas steal. Like that makes these 2-player maps like really Protoss
Nice
favors.
body blocking.
Yeah, this is incredible from him.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Like, that's how I've always kind of felt about it. The 2-player maps are actually good for Terran, but it's kind of evened out by the fact that Protoss has those early shenanigans they can pull on Terran because it's a 2-player map. So, but I'm sure Dewalt has his reasons, right? This is his map pick. There's a reason he wants to play like this on this map, so I'm curious to see what he is thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering if we might see something crazy out of Mihu, like a 2-fact.
Yeah, it's very possible.
But no, you know, I think he only has 1 on gas now.
Yeah. All right, so, I mean, what is Dewalt just gonna do? Just a nice, normal, completely normal, like, what, 21 Nexus, 23 Nexus? Looks like we're gonna get a 21.
Yep.
Or 20. I don't know why 20. I cut that probe for the 20 Nexus.
Yeah, we don't get range either.
All right.
I think Mihu's probably super okay with this.
Yeah. And he gets to do his 1 Marine CC build again, right?
Yeah.
The Goon is coming across the map. The bunker is going to be done in time, but it is only going to be a single Marine in that bunker. We saw Zhanhun when he played against Mihu against this. He just walked past the bunker and delayed the CC and kind of stayed back there with his Goon for a little bit until the tank was about to pop and then came out.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad strategy, right? Just go in there, delay this Nexus, kill the SCB on it. The longer you delay it, the more of an advantage you have, even for sacrificing 1 Goon.
Yeah, well, just even delaying it and walking out, right? Because that 1 Marine has to shoot your Goon for about 6 minutes before it dies. And here we go. We see the Citadel.
Oh.
So Dewalt picks Eclipse because he wants to DT rush you.
Well, wonder if it'll be a DT drop. Mihu has been skimping on turrets and an academy, so
Yeah, his academy's always been very late. He's actually been, that's a good point. He's been dropping his academy like after the 5-factor armory every time, which, you know, the more standard time would be before your 3rd factory you're starting the academy.
Yes. Ooh, but a starport opener here from Mihu. So we're gonna have DTs versus a vulture drop. Yeah, and there it is. We're gonna have a DT drop as well.
So we
Man,
got some spicy builds are gonna clash here. DT drop versus vulture drop. It really comes down to, I feel like, how quickly Mihu identifies what's coming, and whether or not he skips turrets and things like that.
ooh, Goon getting
Okay.
caught, taking some damage.
There's a bit of a tell there, for Mihu, and that is that our range wasn't quite done yet. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's rushing DT right, but it is, because it could be like a, I don't know the exact timing of like range on a 19 Nexus.
I don't know either. Ooh, it's a big pick off to get a vulture. Big pick off. But Dewalt should also be saying, this is weird. We got 2 Marines, 1 tank. Like, killed a vulture. What's going on here?
Yeah, both players should be identifying that their opponents are missing some stuff, and yeah, we see that quick eBay come down for Mihu, so he did realize, probably from that range, based on the timing of that eBay, that he's like, hey, something's not quite right here, so sniffing out that there is potentially some danger.
We'll see what he can get done, because double DT dropping onto a main that only has a couple turrets could be real positive there for Dewalt, especially with such a late scanner. And if his turret ring, we could just fly the shuttle past it and then drop. So we could see a quick game here. And a Stargate. Yeah. He's got 2 base Arbiter, man.
Yeah, that DT drop rush into the Arbiter. Not super uncommon of a follow-up, but yeah, it's kind of a light turret ring here from Mihu, right? It's a little bit inside the base, so he's not going to have those inside turrets most likely. He can do a safety one. He's going to come in with his dropship, and things are about to get crazy, guys. We're going to have drops going on in both players' bases.
Looks like Dewalt should be fine here to clean this up. Only 2, wasn't 4. All right, here goes Dewalt.
His getting stuck.
Yeah, now here goes Dewalt's drop.
Can immediately target down that turret, and yeah, there is no turret on the inside. We're gonna have those vultures come back. They're gonna try and lay mines down. So, how well can Dewalt target mines that are potentially protecting this turret, or is it just gonna go straight for the SCVs? But you could even see some mine drags potentially if you're not too careful with the mine placement. But yeah, turret gonna go down. I mean, this is gonna be pretty big damage onto me. We did get that really quick turret on the bot side.
Massive
yeah. And that might be pretty much the extent of the unit losses here for Mihu. It's going to be targeting down. Oh, okay, here we go. Mine drag onto the mineral line. Pretty good drag. Killed a few of the SCVs.
Ooh.
Second DT went down maybe a little bit earlier than I had to. Could have got that last depot at least, but overall, hard to say. Actually, I think I favored Dewalt's position slightly here. He didn't take a ton of pro damage and did some kind of counter damage. The drops typically needed. I would say normally this was enough pro damage from the drop, but because he also took his own damage, I'm not so sure. And unfortunately, went in a little too early with that DT.
I thought he was going to jump on the tanks since they all target fired the DT. I thought he could have got a couple volleys off.
And here we go. We got a redrop coming in, but there's only a Zealot here in the mineral line to defend.
Yeah, he does not need him to lay a mine there. That would be devastating.
Yeah. A few more probes going down, forced to pull away. No observer out just yet over here. And just gonna load up and walk away.
Hoping to drag this Dragoons into this. The Dragoons are in the line.
Oh, nice catch.
Oh my god. The Dragoon is in the mineral line with those probes right now, Ozzy. Oh my goodness.
Wait, that's actually pretty terrifying because it can get pushed around. Okay. Looks like we did clear it up.
Woo! Woo!
I could hear the panic in your voice.
You talk about your CC burning down, walking a Dragoon and killing all your pros with a mine by mistake. Also just as tilting, and you're sitting there saying, not like this.
Not like this, yeah.
Well, I will say Dewalt's build is very anti-push style. So... Yeah. Oh, he's going to see it, though. He gets the full scout. Oh, my goodness. But still, he sees it, but... I will be curious if Mihu just pushes right into this, because if he pushes into this, he'll push into anything, because this literally these types
look at the
build.
Map, Raz.
Oh my god!
All right,
like the two base orbiter is an anti-push build, right? Like that's why you do it.
I was always told you cannot push into this. This is what I was taught, and yeah, it looks like Mihu. I don't know if this was like a fake move out or what exactly that was, but he did change his mind.
Yeah, because I mean, this is exactly what this build is made for, the anti-push. So if he can push through this, I will be beyond impressed, especially in about 50 seconds when Stasis is ready to go.
Oh, well, the armies are going to miss each other, actually, which is a big deal because Mihu has...
Oh, no.
He's almost got 6 scans saved up. He's going to catch some of the probes over here. Man, Dewalt just can't get anything to go in his favor.
No, he's just so unlucky today. And now Mihu in position with the turret being able to be built. This is a real problem for Dewalt.
Yeah, Dewalt's pretty much forced to go for the counter, but this could actually be a strong play. There are literally no units here. We have 3 vultures that just now came out. There is an observer here with these goons, so this is going to be really hard for Mihu to deal with, and back at home, this is going to be really hard for Dewalt to deal with.
Yeah, this is it. Base trade scenario here. Can he get enough zealots out? I mean, he's not killing anything, really, right? Mihu's kind of just hanging out right now in front of this natural.
Yeah, I mean, Dewalt's getting the mine at his third, too, at the same time, so he can bank a lot of units up on his ramp, and I'd say the longer it goes like this, the better it's going to be for Dewalt.
Oof, and less scans, Ozzy, right? Like, you only have 1 command center.
Oh, true.
So he's not going to have that many scans, so... Oh my goodness, that DT is gonna make it by. That DT made it by. Oh, took it 1 too far up. Drag those mines, Dewalt. Drag those mines.
Well, looks like Mihu.
Do not lose that arbiter. No. Oh my god, no!
We can't be losing an arbiter to
a
turret like this. That was full energy too.
Yep, and now that command center can flow back down to the ComSat station. Oh! Use drag. He may have no more scans. All right, who knows how many more scans he could possibly have. Oh, Dewalt looked like he's going to clear this, though.
Yeah, that's enough zealots to clean this up and kill all these tanks and hold on here, so this is great for Dewalt. And we didn't lose our natural nexus either behind this, so when the dust settles, even though we lost this arbiter, completely unnecessarily. I favor Dewalt's position quite a bit. He's still mining on 3 bases.
Yeah, but Ozzy, we lost that push. So what are we gonna do now?
Yeah, we're gonna push.
We're gonna push across the map again. Why not?
Why not, man?
Oh my goodness. I mean, he did lose a lot of probes, so maybe you're thinking that, but this guy's a madman.
He is.
He's a madman. He's like, I got 2 tanks. That's enough to push.
Man, if we had 2 stasises right now with an arbiter, though, I would feel so completely different about this. Like, I would feel like it's completely over in Dewalt's favor. I still think it is going to be, but it's just a little bit tighter than it maybe had to be. But yeah, we see he's got a lot of units streaming in through here. No tanks left, right? The only 2 that he has are stasis, so going to be able to clean this up. And the longer this goes on, I can't help but believe it just... Oh, we did lose our nexus. Okay. I thought I saw it down there the whole time, but okay. I was wrong about that. So we did lose the nexus, so Dewalt hurting a little bit more than I'd realized.
That probe count scared me. Looking at that third, it does not look like there's a lot of probes. The main, I don't know what's there, but... I don't know. He's going to save those units, I think. Yep. Wow.
Well, you hate to see that as the Protoss player, that the units of stasis get to go back home after you win the fight. And honestly, Dewalt's not out of the woods yet. Like, Mihu's gonna keep pushing, and a supply looks very, very, pushable.
For him, it's always pushable. There's no
Always.
There's no reason to ever stop.
There's the third CC coming down for
Oh no!
Mihu
Now
now,
drop into this base. The probe count is extremely low. Extremely low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't realize how bad it was till we just got a pan there. You're absolutely right. The probe count is pretty much in the gutter right now. Looks like we're thinking of taking a base there at the 9 o'clock, but Mihu just always vigilant with his vultures, going to deny that probe again. And he just never lets Dewalt comfortably expand.
We have a drop going into the natural as well here. But there is a cannon there now. So, might save some probes for Dewalt getting that cannon.
Yeah, I think he has a tank in that drop as well, right? I think I saw that. And he probably, between the cannon and seeing how light the probe count was, it's like it's not even worth going for a volley with so few probes there.
Still only 10 supply difference. The question is of how much of it is in workers, because Mihu is very healthy.
Mm-hmm. And guys, it's actually a big deal. Like, Dewalt is hurting for probes so much that losing a probe here and there trying to take that fourth base is actually kind of a big deal. He's borderline Zerg economy right now, right? So every worker is pretty precious.
Yeah, I mean, what's he got? He's saturating better in the natural now that he's had all the Nexus pumping, but...
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not looking great for Dewalt right now. Mihu's getting that third base. It's going to be up and running pretty shortly. He's got pretty decent setup and coverage on the map as well. May even be able to take this fourth base a little bit later when he's in the mood for it. We do have the Arbiter count building up for Dewalt, at least. Sorry, what was that?
His upgrades are poor, which is helpful for Dewalt, right? Like, he's 0-0.
Oh, wow, he is 0-0. I just always assume,
Yeah, and he gets armory so late as it is, and then you're constantly going 5-6 fact pushes, so you're not getting it. It's
Mm-hmm.
You're behind, so Dewalt can fight better into the late game. Securing this fourth base, big deal.
Yeah, it's I'm a little bit concerned for Dewalt though. Like, we are on this Arbiter style, which is okay for a stasis bust. But typically Arbiters on Eclipse isn't really the ideal tech that you want to be at. It's really more of a carrier map than Arbiters. But he does have a decent bit of energy saved up for potential stasises, which I imagine is what we're going to be focused on.
Yeah, maybe we'll try to recall that Nat or something and then try to bust the other side,
Yeah, I'm just worried because Dewalt's supply is so low. He can't even really afford to go for recalls, right? Like, if a recall flops, then he's just dead to a counter push.
Yeah. Well, this is where in this map it gets hard, right? Like, where do you start to attack as Proto? Like, it's hard now all of a sudden to find good surface area to engage these armies. The only positive for him is that he does have stasis, so when the Terran army's clumped, he can take care of it.
I love these little drops like this. These, like, 1 tank, 2 vulture drops. They can actually get so much value. They can be so hard to clear. Especially with these mines, like, on the ramps and stuff like this.
Just making it difficult, trading out as effectively as he can.
Yeah. Like, how many units did we just bleed off? And not even just that, but like the amount of like focus and attention it takes to clear it, right? Is that's actually the more important resource that gets used up on these kind of drops. And yeah, we're just not even running our armory right now. We're 0-1. I mean, you made a good point. We're not really. Oh, we got carriers. I have no idea. Well, I said it's a carrier map, and Dewalt kind of snuck them in here. And based on Mihu's production, he is not aware of this.
Yeah, he has no idea.
Well, I'm going to change my position on this game a little bit.
Oh! Sees the carriers and wants to switch over. I get it, Ozzy. I get it.
Well, yeah, well, okay, so the reason I say that, when supply is even and you're on, like, Arbiter style, it's really not good for Protoss, but the math actually changes quite a bit when it's carriers that are out. When you're on, like, 4-6 carriers, and the supplies are even, suddenly, it doesn't really mean the same thing anymore, you know?
You know, carrier arbiter, underused. Naokin always talks about it. He doesn't understand why Protoss doesn't just go arbiter into carrier, attack the Terran base at one point, recall them to the other side of the map. Like, so much abuse you can do having those two units together.
I've seen you do it before, and it's actually a really, really valid point. Like, what do people always say the weakness of carriers are, right? Is that they're always running together in a group very slowly from, like, side to side, so the counter is to expand multiple places, right? Well, throw in 1 or 2 arbiters around the map, and suddenly carriers are extremely mobile. But we have Dewalt breaking this position before even revealing his carriers, actually. And that is a huge win for Dewalt.
It's absolutely huge. You see his supply starting to take the lead here, and you know, he's going to be able to clean up the rest of this. Hopefully he doesn't lose this base. He knows he cannot lose it. Here comes his carriers. Let's look at Mihu's face when he sees these bad boys flying in. Oh, a little pause there from him. Nothing major, but he knows that's trouble.
Yeah, that is absolutely trouble. Yeah, we see him shifting his hands off the keyboard now, shaking his head. And
wow.
GG. The carrier surprise from Dewalt.
Thank goodness you changed sides, Ozzy. Thank goodness you changed sides on who was going to win that game.
Look, you can't tell me I'm wrong. You see 160 supply for both players. You're thinking Terran's ahead too. I know it. But as soon as you see those carriers, it's like, oh, okay. I was wrong.
I felt it in my spine, you know, like I was like, oh wow, I feel like there could be carriers on this map, you know? And there they were. Protoss last ditch effort, hide the carriers, show 6, make Terran upset.
I like that me as the caster, it's like I got a jump scare. I'm like, I have it like so set in my brain the game is going one direction, that all of a sudden the observer is like, by the way. And I'm like, oh my god, we got carriers.
Alright, we can win. We can win. Well, going to the final map here, Ozzy, Deja Vu. I find this map very difficult to play against timing attacks from Terran. I feel like it's very short distances. I feel like they don't even have to really get to your base. They just have to get to that high ground, and then it's almost like impossible to break out. So will Dewalt try to play against some kind of 2-base arbiter anti-push style to try to be able to best Mihu in these attacks?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty valid point. I agree with you 100% about the map. It's one of those maps, especially as Terran, where it's like, you can get the 3-base pretty easily, right? You can defend your 3rd base very easily if you get to that point. And the main thing is, once you get up on that high ground, you have map control like by default, right? It's so easy to just kind of shift your army around on those high grounds and control the map that way. And you almost are kind of pushed into ending the game on 3 base as well at the most, because going beyond 3 bases here is very hard. So I expect for sure we're going to see some aggressive builds out of Mihu. But looks like our players are both ready.
Right. Final game to see who will meet Bonyth in this BSL Non-Korean Championship. Let's see who's it going to be. Mihu or Dewalt.
All right, so we have our Terran player here in the bottom left on Deja Vu, and here on the horizontal spawn, Dewalt in the bottom right corner, our Protoss player.
All right, let's see what these two pull out. Will Mihu go for some BBS, huh? Some wild?
BBS. I always imagine most players, in most circumstances, when you're in Game 5, you're wanting to do whatever you feel like is your most secure, like, confident build, right? What do you think gives you the best chance of winning this series? So that's what we're going to see out of both of these players. And to your point that you made earlier, it is a close rush distance, and they are close spawn. So if Dewalt gets up onto that high ground, it's not far from there to Dewalt's high ground.
So I wonder, has Mihu been watching these replays and seeing Dewalt's build? Because if so, he really could pull out some kind of FD push or 2-vac and run him over.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because Dewalt's been doing the same thing pretty much every game, right? I think Dewalt doing a little bit of his own metagaming, seeing those, single Marine, second Marine only builds from Mihu, so... Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. I think Mihu has been watching the replays too, because he's been a little bit later joining some of the games, so it's very possible he's been doing that. And yeah, I would actually like that. That would be pretty cool to whip out the FD for Game 5 to counter what Dewalt's been doing the entire series.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go for it. It's always, it's always one of those things. Do you do something like a crazy PPS? Do you do something crazy on Game 5 because no one's expecting it? But at the same time, if you lose doing that, you feel like absolute shit after.
Well, it looks like Mihu wanted to go for 15cc again. So he's going to get first scouted, so... Yeah, we're going to see that late gas again, so this is his response to getting first scouted. He never quite got that 15cc build like he wanted this series.
No lucky scouting him from the wall, fighting him first. So, Mihu, let's see if he's at all tilted from the series so far.
Yeah. Yeah, probe run around is just going to be a little bit annoying, disrupting the mining and building a little bit from Mihu. But we're basically going to get kind of a similar builds to previous games. We're going to get that kind of 20-ish factory. I don't know. Again, I don't know the exact timings of this because I see it so rarely, but looks like Dewalt also going to go for... I think we're going to cancel that goon, maybe? Or we're going to let it build. So we'll go for maybe a 21 Nexus this time.
I thought if you saw no range, he might build an eBay there. Yep, There it is. There it is. Really messing up with Dewalt's build here.
Yeah, gonna force him into that 23 Nexus when that's not what he wanted to do here.
So a little delay.
Mihu actually didn't go for the earlier CC this time.
He made 2 Marines, which is still not enough. He needs a third right away.
And he made the factory before CC. Last time he did the CC before factory. He's even going bunker before CC. This is kind of interesting. We got this late gas, and we're going to end up with a later CC than normal.
I guess he was worried about Dewalt pushing across the 2 goons because of his range. He went rangeless, correct? There's no range yet.
He went rangeless, but it's because he was on only 2 Marines, and the barracks was flying. He couldn't make that 3rd Marine, and he saw the... goon coming potentially, so he just had to quickly make that bunker because rangeless or not, that 1 goon will beat your 2 Marines. Now, and here we go. This is what I wanted to see from Dewalt before too.
Wow, that's a big deal, man.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to overcommit with these goons, right? And that's exactly it. He's going to back up because he knows the tank could be coming potentially soon. So I like that. It's just one of those things that doesn't really cost you anything, just some shields, and they will regenerate, but it delays the CC and gets your Nexus further ahead. So I love that kind of play from Dewalt.
Yeah, it was well done by Dewalt right there. He must be listening to your advice, Ozzy.
They call me, I'm Dewalt's coach for a reason,
That's right. That's right.
You may be 3 times better than me, but listen to me when I tell you where to send your goons,
That's right. Well, everything's very standard. Mihu should be a little bit, I guess, not concerned, but he hasn't shown range yet. We'll run right into a blind Reaver here. We have map control, so we're going to go right for the blind Reaver. Which I think is great because Mihu has been skipping turrets consistently.
I agree. I think this is a really good play. It does look like that eBay is building there on the right side of the CC. I imagine that's what that is. And it looks like it just now finished. But there's the unload. Here's the random push from Mihu. This could be a full commitment. This could be, just pushing the goons back. But it's also checking for goon range, right? He'll see the goon range still wasn't done yet, and that's going to make him suspicious. He might be worried about DTs again, which could be something that Dewalt wants him to be worried about.
We snuck 2 behind.
Oh no, and we're not closed off properly either, but okay. Luckily didn't commit. These are speed vultures too. That could have been really difficult for Dewalt to deal with if he had committed with those.
Yeah, Dewalt could have just taken major damage and probes in his main if he got in, but he didn't, so...
And look at this for Mihu too. We made anti-DT turrets, but we did not make anti-Reaver turrets. We have nothing in the base right now. We got this one on the high ground, which is another anti-DT build, anti-DT turret, in case you try to run by. This Reaver absolutely could get some serious damage done.
He's gonna see it now. That one turret is not very helpful.
He has 3 tanks here, though.
Yeah,
okay.
He's gonna have to back away. Wow.
Yeah, pretty quick reaction from Mihu spotting that with the eBay and getting those 3 tanks up there. Pretty quickly, because they were like, I'm pretty sure they were low ground when he saw it, so that was like an instant reaction from Mihu.
Once again here, Ozzy this third is very delayed, right? Like we're already 30 seconds delayed, 40 seconds delayed. You know, he's got to clear out these mines. Send another probe.
Yeah, I was really liking this Reaver play from Dewalt, but Mihu just able to deflect it very easily, just makes it look simple. I really felt the setup that they were in was looking good for Dewalt to get some damage done.
Oh no, is there a probe over there again? Okay. He's gonna
drop the Nexus.
Oh my goodness. Alright, he got it down. He got it down. I was a little worried for him right there. I was like, oh no.
Oh, we actually started the 4th gateway before the Nexus.
Well, the power of these Reavers on top of this high ground would be great, really, to deny the shuttles or the push from Mihu to come out to Waltrio to sit up there. But hey, man, we gotta go. We gotta push, you know? We gotta push with something.
What even is this push? He saw that there was a Reaver up there a second ago and just walks up the high ground blind with 4 Marines and 2 tanks. Not even like all of his units.
6 fact plus 1, Ozzy. That's it. I knew this has to be the build out here.
Yeah. Like you said, it's a good position for it. I mean, if he gets onto this high ground and he can start rallying to the high ground of Dewalt, it starts getting borderline impossible for Protoss to deal with once the rally's on your high ground.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult.
But Dewalt was playing incredibly safe. Like, this was 4-gate Reaver before 3rd Nexus. This is the most, like, anti-push opening he could have gone for.
Yeah, hopefully he has double Reaver ready to go on that high ground. He's going to need to get himself up to 6 gateways as soon as possible. Because once this push comes across the map, you can't be adding gateways at this point. You got to have them ready to go.
Yeah, we have a dropship building for Mihu as well, so he's going to be using that to continue distracting Dewalt. And one thing that Mihu's doing really well is he's got these vultures running around the map, and he's kind of leading Dewalt all over the place, which is making it where Dewalt can't comfortably set up where he wants to, right? He's very worried about the vulture run-bys and backstabs and stuff, so Goons are staying back. He's got the 2 Reavers here on the high ground. This is going to be the only thing he has for delay, but it is very, very good units to have for delaying. And I think our Goliath count probably hasn't been built up yet either. We just saw 2 Goliath there. And he's going to want to get to 4.
I did see a dropship for Mihu as well, so I think we're going to drop some vultures in the Nat and the main, pull some of the army back, and look to push again. I think that's what he's doing. Oh, where's he going, man? Oh, no.
Ooh, gets the wall just in
got
time.
The wall off.
And we see the drop going down in Dewalt's natural there. Oh, we did a tank. Interesting. So this is going to be a full commitment then. We're going to take a shot. Only 1 probe so far from the tank. Only 2 more. So this is actually not much damage at all from this tank so far. I think we have, what, 1 more vulture? Yeah. Oh, 2 vultures. We reloaded that. Nice.
I think he's just hoping to pull Dewalt's attention again so he can start to move out. I think that's exactly what he's looking at. Okay, you're pulling army here. I can move out now.
Yeah, and I think that was the main purpose of this. Not so much doing damage as it was just allowing him to get this position and really playing on the edge there. But nice leapfrog from Mihu so far. pretty much doing it perfectly to avoid taking any Reaver shots. He is getting across the map very, very quickly, and this is getting very, very scary for Dewalt. Supplies are even. Dewalt has not been able to stop him from getting to this high ground.
He's going to have to engage soon here, Ozzy. We can't allow him to take the high ground.
Yeah, we see him setting up a little bit of a surround here on the top side of it. He's going to try to engage him, I think, once he comes out onto this lip. And this is going to be pretty much it. I mean, this might be deciding the game right here, right now, guys. We got the 2 shuttles flying in, the units coming from the top. Reaver died instantly. And there's just nothing here from Dewalt. It's not enough. We killed nothing.
Yeah, we just killed nothing and we lost almost everything. Mihu takes the supply lead. He's setting up. He has this barracks here with him. These zealots getting taken out. The Reaver needs to have a big... No! The Reaver goes down and DeWalt says GG! Oh no, Ozzy!
Mihu gets it done.
Oh no! He had those tanks so clumped up, he could have taken the shot. It did not happen. DeWalt loses the Reaver and the push and the series all in one clean sweep there, man. That is so unfortunate for him.
Yeah, we saw this push from Mihu coming a mile away. I'm sure Dewalt did as well, but knowing what your opponent's doing isn't always enough. You have to execute pretty much perfectly to take out someone like Mihu.
Yeah. So that win will push Mihu into the grand final here against Bonyth, where he will start up 1-0 because he is coming from the winner's side. But what a run from Mihu so far here, Ozzy. Going through literally the entire bracket again.
He actually has, right? He's had to have beat every single person here in these final bracket stages, right? We've taken out QiaoGege, we've taken out Zhanhun, Fengzi, now Dewalt, and just one more Protoss, and Mihu can, from the loser's bracket, from last place in the loser's bracket, potentially win this whole thing.
Yeah, literally the hardest path, and this man's about to do it. It's crazy. Can Bonyth stop the machine that is Mihu? It's gonna be wild.
To see, guys. All right, let's take a short break, maybe like 5-6 minutes, something like that. What do you think, Raz?
I think that's good, and then we'll be back here for this grand final. All right, welcome back, StarCraft fans. This is it, the grand finale. We have the man who needs no introduction in Bonyth, has won so many BSLs, incredible player. And then we have Mihu, also has won so many titles. These two have clashed a lot. I feel like Mihu has had Bonyth's number the last couple of times they've matched up, but the series are always so close, 4-3, 5-4. So it's going to get interesting. What are your thoughts, Ozzy?
Yeah, well, kind of like you said, Mihu does historically have Bonus number, right? And then I also feel like Mihu, he's coming in pretty warmed up off of some great TvPs, right? Bonneth, he's kind of been sitting there collecting a little bit of rust, while Mihu's getting his fingers all nice and warm, getting into TvP shape. So a little bit worried maybe for Bonneth, as a Bonneth fan, but I mean, Bonneth can get it done, right? It's not like it's impossible. He is more of a PvP expert, but he's also a carrier expert, and if that man gets into carriers, he can be an absolute nightmare to handle.
Yeah, really good Reaver control, really knows how to delay these pushes, right? So we'll see if he can do that so that he can get some carrier play, or maybe we'll see some patented Bonyth, D-Web, Sair, to block some of these pushes and see what he can get done. I mean, we've noticed and we've said it over and over, Mihu just gets us units and goes, gets unit and goes, almost defying the laws of the game here where we're used to Terran sitting a bit. He does not. He gets after it, man.
Yeah, I feel like from what we've seen so far, Mihu's late game does seem to be a lot weaker than his early and mid game aggression, right? Not to say that it was bad either. I mean, he gave Dewalt a pretty hard time of it when Dewalt did take him out on that Polestar game, but I do feel like Bonneth's late game is probably one of the best in this tournament. So if he can negate these early game aggressions and pushes from Mihu, I favor it more and more for Bonyth as it goes on. So we'll see how he wants to navigate those early games and see if he can get into the game state that he really likes.
Well, here, Ozzy, I'm looking at these picks, and very interesting. Metropolis banned from Bonyth, a standard Radeon pick from Mihu, and then we have Death Valley selected as Bonyth's first map. So do you think he's got something up his sleeve, or what?
He's got something up his sleeve. If nothing else, he wants to make Mihu uncomfortable early. I love this from Bonyth. Banning Metropolis, first picking Death Valley, second pick is going to be Eclipse. So yeah, these are two player maps that Bonyth is pretty much guaranteed that he gets to play. So yeah, that's pretty interesting for sure. He's a man of the fans.
Will he go with either of these, like with gas steals? Is that how he's going to approach it? Is he going to play standard? I'm always very curious.
Yeah, I can't help but remember his attempted build against Dewalt, where he did that kill the assimilators early and go for one base carrier. I don't imagine he'll do something like that to Mihu, but I do imagine Bonyth is cooking something up. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see where that goes.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we're gonna see something wild, and we'll see how Mihu reacts. I mean, it's a wild map, some high potential. But I'm not really surprised to see Mihu's picks, right? Like I would imagine seeing a Death Valley. I mean, I'm sorry, not Death Valley, a Radeon and a Deja Vu pick. Maps that he can, macro and attack. Good 6 fact maps, 5 fact maps. So it makes
Yeah,
sense for his choices. Nothing really too shocking there.
yeah, for whatever value it has. That if I were looking at this map pool and I had to pick 3 maps, that actually would be my 3 map picks as well. So I think us Terran players, we have a general idea of what we like. And yeah, the more standard, the better, right? Radeon, Polestar, Deja Vu. Kind of surprised they didn't want Dominator early, but I guess I don't know. Having Dominator as the last map to fall on, like if you get to that final map, maybe this is kind of a good plan too. You just have a map that is typically very Terran favored to finish it off on if you get there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Dominator was what Mihu wanted, knowing that Bonyth does play such a heavy Reaver style where he can continuously use those uphills, downhills to kind of hold pushes. So maybe that was kind of his logic that he saved it for last since he didn't get a ban. See if he can get it done before, take a win here. But Bonyth kind of getting a good look at the maps that he wanted. I'm sure he has a plan. So really setting the stage here for a clash of two of the best players in the foreign scene. It's gonna be a tight one, man. I think it's gonna be very tight.
Yeah, Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting one way or another. If nothing else, we're getting exciting maps. So,
all right.
Players are ready. We're going to jump into our first game of Bonyth versus Mihu for the grand finals on Radeon. And as you can see, Bonyth coming off of a victory screen. All right, spawning here in the bottom right, we have our Polish Protoss player, Bonyth. And here in the top left, we have our Chinese Terran player, Mihu, cross spawn on Radeon. And yeah, we do have Bonyth enjoying that 1-0 lead because he is coming off of the winner's bracket, right? Not dropping any games there, so does have that little bit of advantage since he did not drop any series coming through this tournament. Did come out of first place of the group stages as well, so does have a little bit of cushion there in his favor.
All right, Bonyth, it's your turn. Channel your inner Protoss feelings and 12 next, man.
Yeah.
And he does not. He does not.
He does not. Nothing crazy to start us off. You know, first picking Death Valley, I was ready for him to do something kind of crazy for game one as well, right? Just maybe trying to make Mihu as uncomfortable as he can. But yeah, maybe game one we try to play a little bit standard, then we get crazy in game two.
That's it. That's how you do it.
I mean, it could give him a lot of momentum, right? If he comes off of a... What do you say?
Zealot first is going to be happening here. Got to pile on before gas, so we're going to Zealot core, Zealot, something like that. So, high pressure from Bonyth to start, knowing that Mihu likes this 15cc, it seems like.
Yeah, and that is what he's going to be going for. And typically you'd be kind of unhappy, right, about the crawl spawn Radeon like this when you're going for these Zealots. And it is going to get Mihu a lot of extra time, at least before the Zealots show up, so Bonyth probably won't be super happy about it. But because he is against this 15cc build, it should be able to get some damage done.
Mihu going to delay again for his gas. He does not want that gas deal to happen. We know how devastating that could be.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that Mihu does this. So I guess because this is a relatively normal scout timing from Bonyth, I guess he's only going to drop 15cc if it's a last scout. And all that damage from that SCV actually going to add up and allow him to kill that probe before Bonyth can pull it away.
Yeah, but we don't have a really good SimCity to put the CC down here. We have one Marine. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Mihu blinking first.
That's terrible. You hate to see that for Mihu. And that delayed his CC even longer because that was supposed to be the CC work read.
That was probably the bunker one. Oh. Wow. Some very serious SCV blocking there.
That SCV not budging at all. Finally, the Zealot managed to break through and get a swipe here onto the Marine. And I think it looks like Dewalt maybe canceled the second Zealot plans because it was cross-spawn. I'm just going to go for that Nexus, but... I mean, great start for Mihu, minus trapping that SCV.
Yeah, he got away with Birder even with the Zealot first opening here. We see a fast core from Bonyth. But Mihu's got to feel good, man. You got that really no pressure. I'm surprised he even finished the bunker.
Yeah, that's not the Mihu way, is it?
No way. I'm surprised we didn't just make a Vulture and a push across the map. We killed a unit.
Yeah, and once he knows he's secure, he unloaded that bunker, went to kill his SCV, and went back inside the bunker. That SCV executed for what it's done here today.
Oh my goodness. Not how you want to, not how it starts, you know? But right away, 2 factories, because he saw the no range again, so he knows it's going to be a fast shuttle. I wonder if he'll look to push out and move out here soon, Ozzy.
Yeah, I mean, he might. Depends what Bonyth wants to do too. Like, is he gonna go for range quickly, or is he gonna continue to delay range to get this reroute as fast as possible? It looks like we did start range, so he's actually just going straight for Observer. This might also be a pivot because the SCV did see the Robo come down, so he may have decided not to commit to the Reaver too quickly.
Nothing wrong with that. Get your scouting info, get up your third, get everything going. I'm assuming that's an eBay. That's kind of what we've been seeing here.
Yeah, looks like it is going to be that eBay. Yeah, 2-fact eBay is relatively standard. You also usually see the armory off of 2-fact, but we've only seen that once in like 9 games of Mihu, so...
Wow, Bonyth also going 3-gate Observer.
This is just what people are comfortable doing against Mihu, I guess. Which makes sense. I mean...
He is hyper-aggressive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, Vulture coming out of here, gonna be skirting around, just scouting around the map, trying to sneak around, make sure we don't run any goons, maybe lay some mines later for some map control and vision. So nothing too wild so far. Second add-on finishes, we're gonna keep an eye on that and see if he wants to go into double tanks. We got our typical safety turrets coming down. One at the front, one on the ramp. The one at the front's more of like an anti-DT just in case. And then the one behind the middle line of your natural.
Ooh, sneak in, he's not gonna make it.
Actually, I guess maybe it's just a... Well, I would call it an observer deterring turret, but it's not like we have a turret ring, so... I think there we just started our armory.
Bonyth on this timing of this third Nexus, though. 6:30, man. He doesn't miss a beat.
Yeah, that feels pretty good for Dewalt. There was no mines or anything, right, to try and to even have to dig through, so nothing delaying that either. So far, so good for Bonyth.
Bonyth looking good, hitting his build in stride. Mihu, we'll see what he decides he's going to pull out soon.
Yeah, going into Vultures here, so it's not going to be like those crazy tank pushes that he's been going for. He just went up to 4 tanks, and then now he's making Vultures to come out on the map. But Bonyth does spot it with his Observer.
He loves those Reavers, so we have the extra turrets going down. It's kind of funny, right? Versus Dewalt, he really lacked turrets, and now all of a sudden we're making extras.
Yeah, definitely showing a lot of respect for Bonyth's shuttle play, his Reaver play specifically, right?
Yeah, Bonyth here getting up this third base. Good transfer. Everything is hitting well for Bonyth. Nothing, not missing a beat. Looking good on his build here.
Oh. A little bit of damage there on that goon from that mine. And Vulture is going to get picked off there. We did get 2 Vultures that slipped out past the goons from Bonyth earlier. I think they took a few shots, so maybe a little bit softened up at least. But going to tuck up against this Nexus. Focus down some of the probes here. So only 2 probes going to go down. Lay a couple mines. Retreat out the backside. And these little things are important. It's important for 2 things, right? We're killing a couple probes, and we're also making it where Bonyth isn't just completely comfortably doing whatever he wants. We're making him work. We're making him lose focus. Wow, it actually comes back in for 2 more.
Good micro there again, though, for Bonyth. Catching make sure to catch Vulture. And once again, 5-fact +1 here. Ozzy, are you surprised that Mihu wants to push out?
Not entirely. It's funny. Any other player, I would have said, well, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's pushing, right? Because you can 5-fact in the third. But because it's Mihu, 5-fact only means pushing.
Oh, no. Oof.
All right, now we see the siege there from Mihu. Does pick off 1 Dragoon. And I think we are building up for that push. We got those 4 turrets coming down. These are always good to put down, even if you're not necessarily planning on expanding right away. You do want control of this position. You don't want observers spotting you too easily. You don't want shuttles flying in to break it later.
Yeah, I think this is fine. Pushing it back. Bonyth recognizing, hey, there's no command center just yet here, so probably going to be typical Mihu. Go, go, go. But Bonyth, a little light on his gateway count right now. There, Ozzy. Like, it's only 4.
Yeah, we got that Stargate on the way, right? So he's hoping to defend it with what little he has and try to transition potentially into carriers. I didn't see if he went Citadel or not, so it could be Arbiter. I wasn't paying the most attention there, but actually just going to go for a bit of a counter attack with these shuttles. And Bonyth might just go on for a full-on counter attack play.
Seems like that's what he's going to go here. But a lot of stuff set up here. Ozzy, I don't know, man. 1 Reaver and 6 Zealots. Are they going to get it done?
Yeah, Mihu did have those safety tanks that were made. Oh, when we
the Reaver goes down! Oh no! And Mihu's already on the 3rd. He has tanks on this high ground. Leaves 1 tank to kill it there. I mean, we're pure Dragoons trying to go up a ramp against tank Vulture SCV.
Yeah, this one's over.
Mihu sieging the Nat and is killing the 3rd with 1 tank.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit of what I was talking about, right? A little bit of just kind of cold hands, you know, from Bonyth, letting that Reaver die like that, losing his observer to the turrets even when we're trying to push up this ramp. So some mistakes from Bonyth here to start this off, and that counterattack gonna be shut down. Like you said, the tank on the 3rd, and there we go. GG. Mihu gonna take that win and gonna get us going with a 1-1 score to start us off.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Bonyth's going to have to adjust a little bit. I think he's so used to being able to play 4-6 gateways and stop these pushes. Mihu just being that next level with his macro cycles not missing. He's having a few more units. So Bonyth couldn't engage the army, goes for the counter. That wasn't it. He needed just to get the gateways out, then get the carriers. So maybe he can just adjust a little bit by adding a couple gateways earlier, stopping push 1, and then adding his carriers. Just to kind of tweak what he's doing right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. You don't want to be going carriers into a 5-factor, 6-fact push. Those pushes are specifically designed to kill carrier builds as well. Like, there's just no way to stop those while getting into carrier transition. So, yeah, I agree 100%. Maybe control the game a little bit first, then start worrying more about our transition into tech.
Yeah, so I think if he could do that, I think he'll be fine. What's good is he has Death Valley next. That's his pick, right? And who knows? I think we're gonna see something crazy. I think we're gonna see something interesting. So I mean,
imagine he picks Death Valley and we get a 23 Nexus build or something from Bonyth, and he just goes Gateway, man. Like, that would be the most anticlimactic thing I've ever seen.
Honestly, it would break my heart. I'm hoping to see some craziness here from Bonyth.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe the old proxy double gate in base. Could you imagine? 9-9 in base. Ooh.
I will say, so I've talked about this before, and I'm going to mention again on this map. I actually unironically think this is a really good Terran map. One of the things that I feel like makes it really good is that you can do a full wall with Barracks Depot, but I'll talk about that a little bit more in game. We're going to hop into game 2 here. Bonyth versus Mihu on Death Valley. Alright, spawning here in the bottom right, we have our Terran player Mihu. And his opponent spawning here in the top left, we have Bonyth.
All right, Bonyth. Show me something crazy.
Yeah, keeping an eye to see if there's any early probes. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening. But yeah, what I wanted to say about this map for Terran, at least one thing I like about it, I feel like it's actually a really good 13cc map, or at least 15cc, because it's a 2-player map where you're allowed to do a full wall with just a barracks and a depot. So even like, for instance, if they go for like gas deal or something, you actually can get your wall up before the probe would get there.
Well, Bonyth's not going to let that happen. He set the probe down for the gas deal.
Yeah. Yeah, probe on the way. It is going to be that gas still from Bonyth.
Do a Bonyth. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
And this is a very early gas still, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's just going to be straight into Nexus? That's what it looks like to me.
Could be just a 12 Nexus after, yeah. Which is a very common way now to play this. We saw that in ASL with Eclipse being back, where so many of the professional Protoss players would do a gas seal and do a 12 Nex forward, 12 Nex gateway, but I think he put down a gateway in his main.
He did, yeah. Mihu gonna get that repair and let us even before it goes down, so.
Is he gonna go double gate or something?
It's 2 shots though. Oh my god, he got it.
Got him.
And it's 1 hit left, 1 HP.
Oh, he's out. Look at the moves on that probe.
That's one of those things where it's that's a mental victory right there. That'll mess with you.
That was good stuff. So Bond did opt for the gateway and a gas.
Yeah, and second pylon, so it's gonna be Zealots. I'm surprised he made the gateway so far back if he wanted to go Zealots.
Maybe he's gonna go into a very fast robo.
Yeah, this is a little bit interesting. A little bit different.
Well, that
I mean,
saw
maybe
coming.
the Zealot might just purely be for stopping this, actually. He's gonna turn back on that and kill that SCV. Yeah. You know that probe is gonna be chasing that SCV until it dies. And yeah, here we go. Gonna be trying to cut it off. Catches up to it. Bam. Down it goes.
Yeah.
Gets the cancel on that. And this Nexus is extremely far ahead of Mihu's expansion. It's a great start for Bonyth so far.
Yeah, I'm really curious if he was just going to put CC down or try to pressure with. Wow.
Oh, he's even going bunker first.
Wow. Wow.
Off of 3 Marines, too. I guess
Yeah,
he
I'm
didn't
surprised.
see the Nexus drop, did he? He saw the second pylon.
Maybe, I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe he was worried about the second Zealot, but this could not be much of a better start for Bonyth. Then that's 2 SCVs down. We haven't lost our probe. And our opponent went bunker before CC with our Nexus opening, so Bonyth definitely enjoying a really, really good lead.
Going second gateway as well, so he's going to put a lot of pressure on here to Mihu and make him force the repair.
Yeah, I actually like this instead of rushing for the Robo because you know that he's not going to be able to get Vultures out anytime soon, so you're not really rushing for the Observer. And it's gonna make Mihu uncomfortable. Yeah. And that'll scare you. Like, this is a pretty big mind game because as Mihu, what you're thinking is, alright, this guy picked Death Valley. He's shown us that he's willing to do some really weird stuff, and he just committed 2 probes to blocking me from getting inside his base, and I've only seen 1 Zealot. He is purposely making Mihu extremely scared of something weird when Bonyth is actually just playing relatively normal behind it.
I like the double gate first too. He'll put a lot of pressure on, force siege mode out, right, and then be able to take. If he wants to get to the bottom side of the map, 1 probe. Bond skip just a probe. That'd be impressive.
Yeah, how far were we from tank? I don't know how much damage we're actually going to be able to get with goons. Yeah, it looks like we're getting pretty close to that tank. But Bonyth's mining out that bottom side, going to be taking his 3rd probably soon-ish. But yeah, these 3 goons going to walk across the map. We see those safety turrets from Mihu. Well, just the 1 turret, actually.
He's getting himself all set up for everything, so mind game's working a bit.
Yeah, and here we go. Gonna just chip away at this a little bit before that tank comes out. Gun range not quite ready yet, but it's gonna be finishing relatively soon, so even just standing here, right, forces Mihu to pull a few SCVs, so being here is damage in and of itself, but that tank is gonna get out just as range finishes. And this is 5 goons, though. He might try to pounce on this. Yeah, just gonna take a couple pot shots while he lets these continue to chip away at that bunker. A few more SCVs have to come off the line and match the number of goons, right? It's 5 SCVs for 5 goons. This is a lot of lost mining and honestly a decent bit of minerals being spent as well.
Yeah, a whole lot, right? That repair is not free. And he's getting a lot of damage down, man.
Yeah, Mihu just saw the number of goons and he wanted to wait for siege mode. And I would say that was really good for Bonyth because it's not like this was a big commitment from him, right? Like it's not like he's cut anything to get this done.
Yeah, no, everything is pretty standard for him. He's getting his 3rd Nexus up already. He has a Reaver Tech on the way. He is just hitting his stride. He is in good shape here.
Yeah, a lot of times when you see like a bunch of goons shooting a bunker and you're waiting for your tank or waiting for siege mode, it's because, you know, you went like 15 CC or something and they went straight for goons. But this is a case where Bonyth's Nexus was actually much quicker than the CC, and he was also pressuring. So, yeah, Bonyth is sitting pretty right now, I'd say.
Yeah, interesting turret placement by the factory over there. I guess for a shuttle that would fly down. But
yeah, it is a bit of an interesting one. I agree with that.
Bonyth's getting into 3rd base, and as we thought something crazy, but nothing crazy, just standard stuff.
Yeah, honestly, this looks like, and I say this knowing it's not what happened. This looks like Bonyth practiced some stuff on this map and practiced some optimizations, but we all know Bonyth doesn't practice anything.
Correct. No practice for that, man.
Just a natural talent.
That's it.
Like this, by the way, he saw that SCV go up there, which can go all the way around the map to scout, and Bonyth started moving a goon around to intercept in case that's actually what he went for.
Okay, well, we see the shuttle here. So,
look at this like wide open base, though.
I know.
Like, there's no way you can build a turret ring for this, and even getting to spot the shuttle coming out is a big win for Bonyth.
Ooh.
Of course we're going for this. This is some of the Bonyth magic that you'll see. Being able to play between the tank shots there and pick off that tank for one zealot. Gotta be careful though, we're flying to that turtle. It does look like we looked away. And we are gonna get one shot off onto the tank here. Once again, playing between the tank shots, even shooting through the mineral line, gonna get that tank. That one unfortunately is gonna dud. And we gotta be careful because this is a... Wow, that is perfectly outside the range of that tank, by the way. I did not think that was safe.
Oh, big hit.
Thankfully for Bonyth, there is not a turret up there. He does fly past his dropship. Mihu, I think he did the whole, if I don't move, maybe he won't see me. With that dropship.
Oh man. Bonyth's got that scare was going to be even bigger. Got all excited for that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, SCVs have more HP, right? Because so many of them got really low, but didn't die. That is one of our advantages as the Terran player. That if you're a Protoss or a Zerg player, every single one of those workers just died.
All dead. But not today for Terran. You got 60 HP. You're good. All right, counter drop coming in here.
Yeah, counter drop coming in here. Bonyth a little bit out of position for it, despite having spotted it a couple times earlier. Gonna target the dropship immediately to make sure these units go down. But a lot of probes gonna go down. A little bit slow of a reaction from these units in his base as well. But he does have these cannons up here at least, so that is gonna be the end of that. But I don't know, what was that, like 5-6 probes maybe? It was decent damage, but for a dropship, 2 vultures and a tank, I don't think that's good enough.
Yeah, maybe not valued the best. I mean, he did get to scout and see that it is double robo, so we're going to see dropship style here. But I don't know how much that really changes so far in this game, you know? I think bottom of the nose needs to just hold this push, and he's in great shape.
Yeah. And he has a great supply for it.
With 5 shuttles and just drop in the main.
It is something you have to worry about a lot of times when you go for these pushes. But Bonyth has such a good supply right now that I'd like for him to go for this push, but of course he doesn't know exactly what his position is. But he knows he had a good start. He knows he's got some damage done with that Reaver. And Mihu's going to have to push up a high ground right now. He has this one Wraith to try and put a timer on it, but here we go. Big drops on top of the tanks. Nice Reaver shot before he goes down. Does soften up and kill one of those tanks, but Mihu consistently floating these buildings in here to soak damage. Look at that.
Yeah, that was incredible. I thought he was going to get run over right there, but he held his ground. Fighting here is odd, right, Ozzy? Like, both high grounds? Like, you're fighting down into some units, but up into the others? Like, it's very awkward to take a fight here.
Yeah, it was awkward.
You know, Bonyth's just trying to, I think, hold this ground right here. Look, another eBay, Ozzy. So the barracks is dead, but the eBay is here. Like,
dude, Mihu is crazy for this. I love it. It's such a good play. But here we go. Another redrop, and once again, the Goon's getting stuck on the building yet again as Bonyth goes for this fight. And honestly, once again, a lot of DPS being missed out on. Does clean up a lot of these tanks. There's still one tank left over, and a lot of vultures. Mihu is cleaning this fight up, but I don't know if he can continue pushing without the tanks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he may have done enough to... Ozzy, come on. He may continue pushing. You know he's going to continue. He just may not have the... Oh, we have a whole group of units in the top left. Bonyth!
How our supply was so high and where our units were, but that is a huge mistake. If he has those units, he crushes this attack, I think.
Yeah. 100.
Oh my god, that Reaver shot.
We don't even need those units. We don't need the units. We have a Reaver.
Bonyth, please, not like this.
Bonyth's gonna lose this game. Like, what? Oh, he found them. Okay. No, he didn't. They're still in the top left. No. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, he has enough supply to break this push, but Mihu's getting into a good position here. He's got the tanks here on the high ground shelling away at these pylons. We're going to see another drop here with the shuttles. There's 2 more Reavers that are involved in this as well. And there we go. Big Reaver shot's going to take out 2 of the tanks. One of the Reavers does go down. Next tank. The Goons can't quite land the shot on this high ground. There we go. It finally goes down.
Oh my god. If you just had those other 10 units right now, we would just be crushing this. Come on, Bonyth, find them!
Yeah, every fight has been so close to Bonyth breaking through, and I can't help but say it, if he just had these units on the side here, I feel like he would have beaten every attempt so far when he tried to break.
Yeah, Mihu floating for the first time. We really see him floating money, too. Bonyth, he's got like 20 supply back there, man.
He's going to abandon this base now. He's going to go for another bus while he abandons the workers there. A little bit of a mind drag, but Mihu does avoid it. 2 more Reavers rejoin the fight here. And I think both Reavers just... Okay, there is 1 more Reaver under there. It does at least get that tank, but Mihu's starting to catch up in supply and actually take a supply lead for the first time this game.
Oh man, I can't believe this Bonyth is going to be so annoyed. We're going to land both buildings and block everything off, aren't we?
Mihu is, like, mined out, though. He's about to be on just 1 base mining there at the top side. That's pretty much going to be it.
I can't wait to see Bonyth's face when he looks at the top left finally.
Mihu saw it.
He's like, what are those units doing back there? That's it. They're special recall units that are being held up.
Yeah, there is a chance that we get into a game state where Bonyth is retreated to the bottom left and rebuilt his base there, and when he's losing his main base, those units will be pulled into the attack.
Yeah, I mean, there is some space to drop stuff here, man. Kill both armories.
Alright, so yeah, a little bit of counter damage here. Bonyth can just kill these extractors and just kind of abandon the side of the map. And just play on the left side. There's a lot more bases on the left side.
He really should just do that. Like, he really should kill these simulators right now before Mihu walks up here and starts getting into his main.
Mm-hmm. He found the units, boys, and we see a smirk.
Look, there's the little smirk. Like, there's the rest of my units.
I'm surprised he decided not to kill these extractors.
Yeah, You and me both. I mean, he's still got that counter drop going in the main. Like we've killed both armories that had upgrades going. We had supply depots.
Yeah, this is really good.
Oh
On the other side of the map.
Mihu's mined out.
Yeah, he's just on one base mining up here at the top side, whereas Bonyth is still mining on 2 bases. Maybe he wants Mihu to come up here so he can try to fight it up here, but the gateways are actually kind of in the way. And it's going to allow Mihu to get in a position. But here we go, Bonyth going to go for another break attempt, and once again our goons are shooting a building floating in the air here.
It's unbelievable, man. How much damage. Oh! Huge scarab. Bonyth may have done it here, Ozzy. He's cleared this army.
Yeah, all of a sudden he just had a bonus round of units there that he found, and that seemed to have been finally what he needed to break this push.
Yeah, he finally breaks it, and he is on 3 bases versus, well, 2 mining, I guess, and you got Mihu just on 1 base.
Yeah. I'm wondering if the reason Bonyth didn't kill that extractor was because he doesn't want Mihu to get this other base on the side, right? He knows that Mihu is only mining on this side. And I think he just wants to be able to have access to keep fighting him over here, because he has the pylon down there, he sees a Mihu doesn't have that other base, so he knows he doesn't have to worry about anything coming out just yet. So he's going to have the left side pretty much all to himself for now, and he wants to be able to fight on the right side. And that'll keep Mihu on this side of the map while he can continue expanding on the left.
Yeah, maybe he'll just drop in the main again. Oh, he's killing the assimilator now.
Alright, well. I'm just always wrong.
Oh, he stopped. Okay. He stopped. He was stopped.
You see those scams coming down looking for those shuttles? And here we go. Shuttle's gonna fly in on top of this army. I think Bonyth wants to break this so that he can stop the production from Mihu. Even 3 DTs mixed in here.
Take out that random turret.
Alright. He's gonna clean up a lot of these tanks though. But I don't know, what do you think? Was that worth it?
I don't know if that was worth it. 3, 4 DTs. 3 shuttles. I don't know. We got 3 Wraith now too here. Because we're really, what, 2 base versus 1 base, and for Terran that's playable.
It's not the end of the world, yeah.
You know? I mean, if he busts, I think he wants to just bust the space. I think he's gonna go for it here, but
yeah. And he has to be careful. Like, now that this side of the map is open, his expansions are gonna be exposed here. I love this pylon wall that blocks his gas, so that he just never mines his gas. I mean, he can eventually, obviously, but it'll be suboptimal.
He doesn't need it, you know.
Vultures do find that 4th base from Bonyth that was coming down, so that's probably going to get denied. And Bonyth pushing up this way, it's going to cause Mihu to bring his army back up in this direction. Surely we at least cancel this Nexus.
Yeah, we might just try to bust right here. He could just go on the high ground and fire down the SCVs, you know.
Yeah. That being said, he is going to full commit here. Shuttle's going to come in with Zealots on top of these tanks. He's going to try to fully bust this. Even some Templar coming down, going to storm towards the SCVs, but actually a bit of a whiff there from that first storm.
Yeah, first storm not great, but these Zealot bombs are incredible. So, oh, there's a good storm. Tanks going down. This could be it. Bonyth breaking through here on Mihu. Mihu now not mining.
Yeah, absolutely no mining happening right now for Mihu, whereas Bonyth is still mining on 2 bases.
So it looks like Bonyth here finally getting into that ultimate winning position where Mihu is struggling on bases. Oh, here we go. He's just going to try to... Never mind, he's running away.
Yeah, Mihu does get another base up and running here on the bottom side, so he might try to stay a little bit longer. Looks like we have some games dying too. Yeah, I know. They never quit, man. We ain't quitters.
Why leave? We have one more base to mine from, you know? Yeah, I think right now Bond is feeling good with the game state. You know, he does need another base if he's going to continue this on, but I think he should be able to... Oh, he does have a ton of his army on the other side of the map here, Ozzy, which makes things a little bit difficult, right? Like, this is where this gets weird. We have a whole group of units and a Templar there. Is this enough to overtake the army just by itself? It looks like
it does look like he has a lot, yeah. And this is a pretty meager army here from Mihu. Just 3 tanks here. We see 3 more shuttles flying again, so Bonyth gonna quickly try to break this position. Looks like he had some second thoughts. He might be... Okay, he wanted to clear the mines out some to get the timing a little bit better, so kind of sync up his push a little bit here. Ooh. Even the mine drag killing a bunch of the vultures there. Reavers not even needing to fire. And yeah, we're gonna push this back. We're gonna chase this command center down potentially. Maybe push this all the way back into Mihu's mining base.
54 supply in a dream here.
What's Mihu's upgrades? What do we believe in right now as Mihu? 1-0?
Oh, no. We've lost both armor back here.
Yeah, we lost our armories earlier, yeah. And yeah, here we go. Bonyth's gonna push him all the way into this base and break this base too. He's saying, alright, fine, if you want me to kill you, then I will finish you off.
You know you're in a bad spot when SCVs are fighting Reavers.
Yeah, we used to make a joke where with proper drilling anything is possible, but when you're fighting against Reavers, I don't think the drill can save you.
Okay, we're not mining. We have 33 supply.
We see Bonyth kind of smiling there a little bit.
The GG.
And there we go, GG. That was kind of a moment where Bonyth is like, come on, Mihu.
Like, you've lost. It's okay, man. Let's just move on to the next map. But Bonyth there. A little bit of mind games, Ozzy. Kind of using the map to his advantage, make it look like he's do something crazy. He plays very standard. Despite missing a whole group of units for his fight, he was able to overcome and take this map from Mihu.
Yeah, I got really worried. I was worried this kind of self-inflicted hard mode that Bonyth imposed on himself was going to cost him the game, and I'm sure if he lost, he would have been absolutely kicking himself for that, but still wins the game, so instead it's something we can laugh about.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not the way you want a losing match, right? Like, you're like, oh my god. But, so he gets a win on his map pick, so we're back to Mihu's choice, which is Polestar. Very standard macro type of map, right? Again, Ozzy, we kind of said that before.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a map that I like as a Terran player as well. I do think it's a really good carrier map. If you get the carriers, there's a lot of dead space between the bases that can be pretty annoying to fight against, so I think this will be another instance of, if Bonyth does get into late game and gets into carriers, I think that'll be a good position for him, but we all know Mihu does everything he can to avoid that kind of a game state.
Yeah, and another good map for Bonyth uses Reavers to stall with the, coming into the high ground middle. So if he wants to use that to his advantage, we could probably see that happening. But got to be careful. I mean, he played a no carrier double robo style there and got the win. So maybe that's something he wants to consider continuing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I know I do kind of keep talking about carriers over and over again, but Bonyth obviously is good at something other than carriers, right? Like, he showed us his shuttle style is also very strong.
Yeah, we might want to see some of that going into the next game. Why mix it up when you've already one game like that?
Yeah, it's a very valid point.
Right. It looks like we are ready for game number 3 here. Bonnie up 2-1 because he started with a win, being in the winner's bracket final, coming through that route. But we were saying Mihu has gone through the entire bracket, so Bonyth is the last one left. Final boss. All right, here we go. Game 3 starting up.
All right, spawning here in the bottom right corner, we have our Chinese Terran player Mihu, currently down 1-2. And Bonyth currently leading the series, spawning here in the bottom left as our blue Protoss.
Alrighty. What are we going to pull out here? We're going to have a lot of standard stuff or what?
It's hard to say. I never trust Bonyth. When I see him smirking like that, nothing's happened yet. I see him smirking to himself. Maybe he's thinking about that last game, thinking about those units again, or maybe he's cooking something up that's got him laughing a little bit. So, so we got to keep an eye on Bonyth. He knows that in a straight-up game against Mihu, it is going to be pretty difficult. He did navigate that last game really, really well. I loved pretty much everything he did in that early game. He found himself in a great early game advantage. And I genuinely feel like the only reason it looked like a pretty big struggle was because of this mistake of Bonyth leaving so many units behind.
Yeah, that's why I think it was much closer than it was, but he was able to overcome, get the victory. Doesn't have to be angry and sad about it, because that's one of those things that could definitely poke Tilt Monster.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to be right back. Sorry, give me like 30 seconds. I'm going to let you solo for just a moment.
All right, I'll make sure I keep the early game commentary top-notch here. Let's see if Mihu is going to try to play this gasless this time, or it doesn't matter. Bonyth getting the first scout anyway, and Mihu immediately takes the gas frame and sees the